our own children.
Right, exactly.
Too funny.
He's my baby.
Good morning. It is September 18th. Man, this year is just flying by. Good morning. Yours truly, Drake Swift. We're here with
morning, everybody.
Raina out in, you're in Lansing, right? Yeah. I was thinking about the other
I'm
city.
in
Lansing, Michigan. We got Alex Sportsmouth and Tori Savage Kitty. How is everyone doing?
So good.
Swell.
Good morning.
Good. So, thanks for joining us today.
Yes.
She goes, I'm
Thank you for
extremely.
having me.
She goes, yeah, you're welcome. She's like, I'm extremely nervous, and I'm like, don't worry about it. It's cool. We're not gonna ask anything crazy. I mean, we can always go there. You know, I'm like, no.
It's been known to go there a couple times, but
right.
You're safe.
So, how was your guys' Friday?
Take care of all of our guests.
Right now, how was your Friday? She said it was up late.
It was lame, and I fell asleep.
Sounds like my kind of day.
I think when you get in your 40s, I think it becomes lame, and you go to sleep on Friday night. I was telling her the same thing. I really don't do anything on Friday night. You know, I'm not a clubber. I don't want partying. I pick up my kids on the weekends, and I go to fuck to sleep. You know what I mean? Pretty easy. I told her, a couple weeks we're all going to Detroit. I said that's my only day, like the 3 days that I really party, and then it takes 3 days to recover.
Right. I know. I tell them, I was like, man, I love you. I miss you. When you come down, it's great to see you, but I can't wait till you take your ass back home because I went out more times in 1 week than I did
the whole year.
A year, all last year. Like
that's like it for me. Every time people see me, they're like, "Let's have a drink. Let's have a drink." I'm like, "Man, I don't drink like this anymore, guys. I know I was the life of the party before, but I'm like, can I get a drink of water?" I'm like, "How are y'all drinking this much?" And my friend said, "You really don't be drinking that much anymore, huh?" I said, "But you got to understand, there's 5 of you and 1 of me. So every time I see you all, everybody wants to have a drink individually." I was like, "That's 5 times the amount that you're drinking. I need a rest. I'm old. I can't do that."
Times 2, because they're.
I'm like, I stay home and cook and clean on Friday nights. Like that's my excitement.
Well, I was talking to Tori, and I was like, she goes, you know what? You're just old. So like my top of my back is like fucking killing me. Like somebody was just like punching me the last couple of days, and I'm like, what the fuck? Did I sleep wrong? Like I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Get the Bengay.
So yeah, she goes, you know what? You're just old.
Bengay.
I'm over there, Ben. And I
in the clothespin.
I pick up my little one, and she goes, "Oh, you smell." And I said, like I don't know, like medicine or something. What is
it's my new cologne, baby.
My new cologne. Sexy smell of menthol, sweetie.
They got cologne to draw them and to push them away.
Like the official old man smell.
Right.
Mix that with menthol, and you're killing the ladies.
Literally menthol and Old Spice original.
Might have
oh man, I just smelled it. I could smell it as you said it.
That might be a hazardous reaction right there with all of that.
I was telling her today,
you smell like my dad.
You sound like Uncle Ron.
And I said, don't worry about it. You'll rub some more on me later. She's like, no.
Don't you worry about it. There's more of that for you.
Plenty to come, right?
Just don't touch your eye after.
Right. Oh, that's the worst.
Or rub your balls.
Yes, definitely.
Oh.
Don't sell it. That was funny. The other day, we're on the food truck, and my I used to have a hot dog with like jalapenos. It was a hot spicy dog. And my nephew,
your heartburn thinking about that.
He has his food gloves on. He's cutting up the things, and then he starts touching his face. And then for whatever reason, he puts his hands down his pants. So a couple minutes later, he's like, "Hey, I got to go to the bathroom." I was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I just touched I just touched my private, and my penis
is a whole bad combination of things, man."
Right now.
I was like, first of all, get out of my truck.
Right. Secondly, go wash your penis.
I was like,
golly.
Why would you touch your private with fucking
like
hot shit?
I didn't know I was itching.
Instinct.
Yeah,
It's a weird instinct he has.
His kid, first thing to do is scratch the
He's
junk.
running to the bathroom. Like, dude, did you get that off? He's like, man, it still burns. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you because it was habanero. So I was like, I was like,
that's the true definition of hot nuts.
I was like, oh shit.
Basically.
So you guys were talking about hot nuts. You guys were talking about Old Spice. That's funny because I mean, whose dad didn't have like the car or the train that had the cologne in it, right?
The car. My dad had the car. He had the car.
And it had Old Spice in it.
I used to take
My uncle always had Pierre Cardin, and the Pierre Cardin and the whole house smelled like it. I'm like, who does he? He's not even French. What is he doing? Like, what is this? And he'd have it in the medicine cabinet, right? And I would stay over there and babysit. And when I was younger, he babysat us. And I would go in to go get my toothbrush, and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to brush my teeth with this. So I would take it because they would feel your toothbrush, be like, oh, you didn't brush your teeth if it wasn't wet, right? So I would take it and get it wet, and I would just take the toothpaste and put it in my finger because the toothbrush had the smell on it.
That's
when I go over there, I'm like, I'm not brushing my teeth with this.
Right.
Yeah.
So your dad had the car?
Yeah,
I think he had the car in the train.
My dad had the old school milk bottle.
And the milk.
Yeah, there was the aftershave. And the other ones, I
36 of the year.
I used to look at him as a kid and be like, how do you even use that? Because the tip was like metal. It was just the bottles looked like Coca-Cola bottles, small Coca-Cola bottles.
It would be sitting right next. Okay, so fun fact: my father had a glass eye. He would be sitting next to his glass eye.
That's
wow.
In the cup.
Nothing, New York.
In the cup.
In the cup next to it.
In the cup.
Right.
So he'd have his Old Spice and then a cup with his glass eye in it.
Hey, had to get all his supplies together at once. Maybe it was fancy. He had all kinds of colognes. I couldn't even tell you.
One time I woke up to go to school and I went to go gargle and there was an eyeball in the cup and I freaked out.
So ever since then, did you ever like? I'm sure everybody had that.
It didn't touch my mouth. I saw it. I was like,
when they shouldn't have and drank it, right? Did you ever after that? But did you ever like you never touched nothing to a cup that wasn't yours again? Probably, huh?
Exactly.
Like when you're at a family event or something. I remember Thanksgiving. They had like the old Tupperware. It was like straight orange, and then it
orange
had like
and yellow
it was just orange
with the looked like a sun ray at the top.
I grabbed it. It was Thanksgiving. We had everybody got done eating dinner, and I grabbed it and took a big drink, and it was Jack and Coke. And I was like, "Oh my god!" And I drank
in the Tupperware container?
and I didn't. Yeah, everybody was drinking.
You?
I didn't. Everybody was drinking. This is after dinner. They're drinking and talking and mingling.
Okay.
And I just ran by playing and just. I was like, "Oh my goodness, never again." I was like, "Oh my goodness." Jack, I was like 9 years old or something like that, I think.
See, growing up in my house, or my grandparents or anything like that, you'd see the Tupperware, and then you'd see the butter, right? And you'd think you're getting butter, and it's like a whole meal in the butter container. Right. So, don't try to take something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was
you
pop.
think you're
I thought
getting
it was pop, you know.
right.
It was pop,
Yeah.
all right.
It was
Our
pop.
containers had
Like,
different food in it.
Yeah, Mexican or hood Tupperware was the country crock.
Yeah, all the time. Well, and my mom would say, "Did you bring your bowls when we would come over?" Right? Or my grandma's. Everybody, we're going to grandma's. Make sure you get your bowls. So when I was younger, I didn't really have a Tupperware set. Right? I just had Cool Whip bowls. You'd think you were getting Cool Whip.
There's about 10 downstairs right now.
And it was Italian sausage and peppers. Don't you think you grab the wrong one? You're like, damn it, I really wanted lunch today. And I just brought a fucking tub of Cool Whip to work with me.
Oh, right. That's funny.
So mad. Like, why? They're like, what do you got for lunch? I'm like, Cool Whip and butter.
That's funny.
Grab the wrong containers.
That's happened to me a couple times. I didn't grab my lunch, and I was just like, oh my God, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Sour cream. You're eating sour cream.
So, Reyna, tell us who Reyna is. I know you were born in Michigan, grew up in Lansing, East Lansing, Okemos. I think that's how you pronounce it. I can't. And then, and then went back and forth. Father was in San Francisco, which is like I was telling her. I was like, wow, that's a big, like, you know, kind of a clash. Like you would go from Lansing to San Francisco, and that's like a total shocker, I would think, to me.
Huge culture shock. Yeah,
culture shock. Growing up in two different cities.
It's cool though.
So I would have kind of been happy about that one.
Yeah. So tell me,
San Francisco.
Tell me how your childhood was growing up, because we were just talking about San Francisco. I was recently there, and I said I didn't see one fat person in San Francisco. And she said that San Francisco's got like the nicest butts, voted nicest butts in the nation. So go ahead, tell me about
healthiest.
They'll put salt on the table.
Natural butt. Natural
butt. Okay.
Yeah. Everything's uphill there, though, right?
Yeah, because of the hills. Hills. But yeah, everybody's walking up them hills. I lived in the Mission District, which is very like somebody had once described it as being like the hood and Puerto Rico and Florida all in one, or New York all in one place. When they come to
flavor.
Visit. Yeah, so the mission is very cultural. A lot of Mexican, South American, Central American. There's some Puerto Ricans there, but it was predominantly a Latin neighborhood, kind of like Southwest.
Okay.
Except there's palm trees, and you know it was nice weather. The Mission primarily was I think my dad said it was the flattest part of San Francisco. So, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of hills or anything. And it was the warmest area because the weather there varies 10 degrees wherever you might be in the city.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you always got to take a sweater with you or a small coat, because if you wind up like on Russian Hill, you're totally freezing your butt off. So, yeah, or by the marina or somewhere like that. It's like, we always used to say, you can always tell who a tourist was. Because in July they were all huddled up together wearing cheap San Francisco sweatshirts.
Cheap sandals.
Cheap
like
San
something
Francisco
like they just had to buy it on
and they'd be like, "Where are you guys from?" And they were like, "What do you mean?" I was just like, "You're definitely not from here." And they, you know, they'd be like, "Well, it's so cold here. It's July," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's coming January. It's more like summer in January." So
that's funny. Sounds a little bit like Michigan in that sense. It fluctuates.
But I enjoy. Yeah. It definitely fluctuates. But no, I loved it. I had extremely positive. It was hard educational wise. I did suffer a lot with catching up with school, and I already had ADHD. And I was a weird kid, so there was a lot against me. So, I mean, I just learned to enjoy being with my dad when I was with my dad, and enjoy being back at home. My mom would surprise me sometimes when I'd move back home. We'd be moved somewhere else. She was like a gypsy and moved every couple years. So, you know, it was, the whole experience of being back and forth. I think I learned how to adapt to moving in a constant changing environment.
So you told your dad took you across the Golden Gate Bridge as a ritual to prepare you as an adult to walk up those hills. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I used to think it was nothing, but he would always tell me all the time how special the Golden Gate Bridge was. And I remember the example that he would use would be like, he said, "Do you know how magical it is to be here on this bridge?" And I was like, "No, it's long." And he was like, "People come here from all over the world to kill themselves on this bridge."
I mean, you hear a lot of those. There's a lot of stories. That's crazy.
Funny.
He would tell you, but yeah.
But you're telling an 8-year-old,
right? No, I understand, but
well,
history lesson.
He wanted you to really understand.
So you go back and forth for a while. Your mom moves to Southwest Detroit. You end up graduating from Southwestern. And I won't tell you the year because I don't want to date you. We're gonna say you're 21 today. So you you go back and forth. You graduate from Southwestern, and then you said you moved. I believe you said you moved back to East Lansing, and then you go back to San Francisco, correct? After high school, after a while, a couple years.
Yeah. I actually got pregnant in high school.
Okay.
Same.
And my mom had enough of Detroit and moved back to Lansing.
Okay.
And so I stayed a little bit, but then my baby daddy got locked up. And so I went back to Lansing with my mom. And so I stayed in Lansing for a while, raised my son for a couple years there. And it was just like I finished school, it was nothing. I was working at gas stations. I was a manager at McDonald's. I was doing stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't really want to do that. And I knew and I was kind of in a toxic relationship.
Wasn't.
Yeah.
You just read
all
I swear you just
all I knew was
mind.
that I needed to leave Michigan.
Okay.
I needed to get the hell out of Michigan. That's a quote from Madonna. I think she said that too. But
She's
I really
right.
I needed to get the hell out of Michigan. So I, called my dad. My dad had been really pressuring me to get out of Michigan and come to California. And he was just like, calm, don't worry about it. I'll take care of you. And you don't have to worry about, my baby. And, so he was like, we'll put him in school. So I was like, you know what? I need to get away from this situation. I need to figure out who I am. So California was it for me. And it was an easy choice, So
you become
Fresh start.
You become a California girl again, and then you go out there for a couple of years. Then you move back. I think you said you spent 3 years in California. Sorry, and I know we talked about it yesterday. So condolences. I know you said your dad passed, and then you moved back to Michigan, correct?
Yeah, I came back to Michigan because after my father had passed away, pretty abruptly. But I kind of knew it was instinctually. I kind of knew I needed to go there to spend some time with my dad because when I was leaving, I was really procrastinating, but I literally had a dream where they basically, I want to say God told me go to California. You need to spend time with your father. And so that's really what pushed me was to go there. And then I lost him, and I was grateful that I went there to spend time with him because I would have been devastated had I not gone and had that many years with him. So, I had this moment after he passed, and I was like, this fear of my mom, what if I lose my mother and she's in Michigan and I'm out here in California? So I gathered my stuff up. It took me a couple months to get myself together, and I relocated back to Michigan. And honestly, after about a year or two, I realized that my mom is probably going to outlive me. And I gave up rent control.
That's funny.
Where my dad actually lived at for 22 years. So we were literally living in one of the most sought after neighborhoods in San Francisco for less than $500 a month.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
He had, he lived there so long and they had rent control. And the funny thing happened is when we moved in, the landlord tried to raise the rent and a lot. And they had rules out there you couldn't do this. So they went to court. And my dad, I always complained about him being a pack rat, but it worked out for him because he literally had every single check he wrote that man for 22 years. Oh. They went to court and found out he had overcharged him. So he went from paying, the guy wanted him to pay like $300 more extra, $400 more extra a month to having to retro pay. So for 2 years, he had rent for $256 a month.
Oh, my, that's amazing.
Awesome. Party time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I left all of that. Like I love to go be with my mom, who is just never gonna give up. So, and I'm grateful for strength. Like I don't want to lose my mother, and I'm glad that I'm here. But
so
that's awesome.
I think you said 2008. You have a friend that has a salon, and you start. You guys team up, and you start becoming an entrepreneur, businesswoman. And what do you currently do now? I know you said you're a beautician. What else do you do in your shop? And then we'll leave the surprise thing to the end. But go ahead.
I do. Okay, so I'm a cosmetologist. I'm a massage therapist. And I'm a microblading PMU artist, permanent makeup.
Okay. So I'm a guy, and the only thing I know, you just said massage and do nails, but what's the other thing that you just said? Because I'm dumb. I
do permanent makeup where. What's that?
I said I'm dumb, a guy. I just take my girl there, and I'm like,
who doesn't know what any of that means?
Yeah.
So I do, but I'm going to let you explain it.
Okay. Cosmetology is the license that I carry that allows me to. I went to school in San Francisco and achieved there. Graduated from there, Miss Marty's, which was the oldest school in San Francisco, first school established beauty school, woman owned in San Francisco. So
that's cool.
So you went there while you were living. You went there when you were there with your dad for those 4 years. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so I got my license out there in California. But Miss Marty, she
cosmetology and esthetician.
Yes. Yep. And so she actually was from Michigan.
Oh, nice.
How ironic.
Her niece inherited the school, Dottie Bell. And Dottie always took care. She was from Stockbridge, which is about a half an hour away from here, from Lansing. Mm-hmm. And so she always took care of her Michigan girls. But to answer your question, what it does is it allows me to work in all forms of the beauty industry, like hair, skin, body, nails, all of that. So my license covers everything.
That's cool.
And then when I actually took on extra for esthetician while I was there to get an extra, like there were extra courses to build up my license. Right. So it's been so long, it kind of the everything has gone away from that, so it really does. It's kind of irrelevant at this point. But so
when did you learn? How long have you been doing the microblading? Oh, hello. Can you hear
2017.
Me? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I learned how to do it last year, the microblading and permanent makeup. Then the pandemic happened and I was scared to let people in my house, so I kind of just let it subside. But it's very interesting techniques.
Yeah. It's challenging.
It is.
I think the hardest thing that
Taken out. Are you still there?
Can you hear me?
Mapping. Mapping out eyebrows.
I know, right? You would never think that mapping out eyebrows is so challenging. And it's, the whole time my anxiety was so high. I'm like, oh, don't let me put bad eyebrows on this person. Please don't let me just get this symmetry correct, right? So I will erase that white line and that as many times as I need to before I get that needle on their face. But but when I was learning, I had them do mine so I could actually feel it, know what it felt like. Right. Yeah, because when you're stroking, and stop me if I'm wrong, if it's different for you, I was nervous. I was practicing on oranges and bananas and all kinds of stuff because I'm like, I've never dug into somebody's skin.
That's
like
good though. That's a good
before.
idea though.
Yeah.
Follow that.
And these like skins.
When I walk by the mall and I end up working on eyebrows, it looks like they're almost working in making tortillas. They're like,
oh, threading. He's talking about threading. Tortillas.
What the fuck are they doing over there?
Oh man, do you thread also?
I do not, but I've been trying to hook up with somebody to teach me. I try to learn as much as I can in all the fields that are coming up.
That'd be a good one to learn.
I just use wax.
Yeah, I had a bad threading experience. I had when I moved here. Back in Michigan, I always just waxed, and whenever I'd get my lashes done or do it myself, I'd wax myself. But I started going to this lady that thread, and I thought it was great. And the one day I got home, or I got in the car, and I look up, and I'm like, when the sunlight hit, I'm like, oh my God,
where's the end
of my eyebrow? She took the whole tail of my eyebrow off.
And
I mean, what do you do at that point? You can't put it back on. You go back in and you ask for your $15 back. Like I said, do you
don't
see this?
Ever go back to her again?
Oh yeah, I never did, but I was traumatized, and I said to my son, I was like, "Can you see this?" He's like, "Your half your eyebrow's missing." Yes, I can see it. I was like, "You're supposed to lie to me." And then that's when I learned the microblading. A friend of mine, she teaches internationally and she flies all over. So she says, I'm giving a class in Houston. Or Dallas, why don't you fly out and I'll teach you while I'm giving this class? I said, girl, let me get my suitcase. I'm on my way. I need this eyebrow fix. So yeah, awesome. It's a great skill that to have. How do you like the permanent makeup? How do you feel about that?
I actually like doing the permanent makeup. Oh, well, microblading's fine, but I'm going more nano brows using the gun more.
Yeah.
And using a shade. I studied at Michigan Microblading first in 2017, and then just like weeks before the pandemic, 2 weeks before the pandemic, I went to Natty's Beauty out in Dearborn. Yeah, and learned and trained with her for what is it called? Combination and powder,
and shading and all of that. Yeah, the powder brows
combination. Yeah. So so that was a really positive experience, and she's a great. Nice. I mean, she's just an amazing person altogether. I admire her very much. So.
Yeah, but, I've seen her work. I don't know her personally, but I've seen her work. I have a lot of friends that are in the beauty industry that way, so I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. Like her story. Quick, she developed in like her business and everything is, and then she's just like
That's awesome.
Do I need to repeat it?
No,
I heard it. Did you guys hear?
She so she.
You're there.
Oh, I think we're losing you.
It's just a little. She got a little.
Like.
I'm here.
Okay, there you are.
There you go. So you start the salon in 2008, and then you're with her almost up to the pandemic. And you say that
the pandemic.
The what?
Oh, okay. You were with her through the pandemic?
Through the pandemic. Okay.
Like I was Yeah, right up until I spent a half a year there after a year with her after the pandemic, because we keep thinking the pandemic was last year, really, but it's been a little bit long. It's been over a year now. So when we were able to go back,
well over, right?
Yeah.
So how was it?
I
would say, how was it when you during the pandemic? How difficult it was? Because I know you said home for a while because, Michigan didn't know what was going on, and how difficult was that owning a salon and going through that?
It was scary. It was scary to think that, I honestly, I didn't believe that we were going to shut down. And I don't watch TV. Here's the thing. I don't watch TV. And it was literally
me neither.
a couple days before like the shutdown, I had a client tell me, "Did you hear about COVID?" And I was like, "Well, what's that?" And she's like, you don't know about COVID? It's this. And I was just like, it sounds like, they're just scaring you. And then all of a sudden, it was here and the whole state was shutting down, and we were forced to shut down. And I was like, I was in shock. I was like, my head was spinning for about a week, and I was like, well, we'll be back to work. And I was telling my partner, I was just like, well, we'll be back to work in a couple weeks. And then it went to a month. And then it went to 2 months. And I was like, we will be back to work by April. I swear we'll have this back by April. And she's just like, yeah.
Man, I wish I would have thought like that.
So we would try to stay positive or whatever, but it was really scary because your whole thing is having people come to you. And I'm not gonna lie, I had thought to myself, I'm gonna open up my house, and the people that I feel safe around, I'm gonna bring them over to my house to give them haircuts.
I thought about that as
well.
Which probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but when you are a desperate situation, you do desperate things.
I'm going to tell you this. I snuck over to my Lash girl's house so many times. She's like, and I felt comfortable going to her house because she used to be a nurse. So I know that she was really cautious, but she had said it to me. She said, if we get caught servicing people, I can get in a lot of trouble. And she owned her salon. So I would, how bad it is. Like, I need my beauty services that I can't do myself, or I don't want to do myself. And I would bring her lunch, and I would go to the back door. So that way, she said that they had been being watched. And I just say, I'm just bringing my friend lunch, right? But really, that was code for do my lashes. And then I would go to her house, and she had her whole living room kind of sectioned off. And she made you stay outside. You couldn't use the restroom while you're at her house. You had to, there was like this little portable sink out on her porch. She'd make you wash your hands, take your shoes off when you entered, and give you a new mask each time. And I felt super safe, but it's scary when those are the services you provide for people and you can't. And in a blink, it's gone. That's like when I started to do the microblading and learning all that stuff. I'm like, well, now what am I going to do? I just learned this skill, and I'm scared to have people in my house and especially not knowing a lot of people here in Arizona. So I didn't have a clientele for it yet, but I couldn't even imagine being a salon owner, how scary that was.
So I watched one of your videos, you said that there was people coming in and basically like putting the rules down and saying what you can do, what you can't during COVID. When you did finally open back up, what was those rules that they made you follow as salon owners?
Okay, so everybody had to be 6 feet apart, of course.
Right.
We had to put plastic, everything, plastic for the nail stations. She had to put plastic, like plexiglass walls, barriers. Yeah, plexiglass. There was already partitions in between the stations, so there really wasn't the hair station, so there really wasn't anything there.
Oh, that's good.
For there, except that we all had to wear masks. Both parties had to wear masks, and then in the waiting room, we had to have each seat. We put a sign between each seat saying that you couldn't sit next to each other.
Right.
stuff like that. It just seemed, I mean, like, and then we had to wipe down everything.
Every day.
Be wiped down.
Probably a couple times a day, huh? A few times a day.
Yeah. Anytime anybody came into the salon, we had to wipe counters down, seats down, anything they could have potentially touched.
Right.
The door handles when they left, coming in and out, everything, all the time. Anytime someone new came in the salon, we had to do it.
Oh, my light decided to do a ghost thing and turn up on
So it was, you know, but we wanted to be open so you comply.
Right.
And then
I'm sure though it made you feel safer though doing all those things, though, didn't it?
It
be able to stay open. I mean,
I was happy to provide a safer environment for my clients because I actually have a lot of elderly clients. Like they become elderly. They weren't elderly when I started. I've been in openness for over 15 years. So some of my clients have been with me for 15 years or more. And I didn't want to get them sick. I had lost a lot of clients died during COVID while we were in lockdown. And I had lost, I think, 8 of my clients got sick. And I was devastated.
That's
like
rough. So sorry to hear that.
So I bet. So you were happy to be able to clean an area for them and make sure that they were safe. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so
absolutely.
And then that's when COVID became real to me. Because I was really like, oh, it's not real. Oh, it's, you know, I was buying into the conspiracies and all that other stuff. And I was like, you know, all this stuff. And then when I called one of my clients to see if he was okay, and he was like a dad to me. And I was just like, and his wife answered and she was like, oh my gosh, Reyna, I'm so sorry. He passed away. And I was like, what? And then I started to call my other clients, and one by one, like, I think I figured out about 6 of them at that point had already passed. And then when we reopened, I later on found out 2 more had passed. And I was like, at that point, I was going to do everything I could to protect my clients.
Right. You can't question that. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter any of the other details.
I can't even imagine.
And it's a real thing.
The stress that they had to put on you because you're like, wow, like, do I have it now? I mean, so.
Well, making sure that you're
so many thoughts.
You're safe for them. So now you probably have this anxiety of, am I going to be able to keep my clientele safe, my employees safe, and everybody I come in contact, and myself.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot to think about.
So I have to. Go ahead. I was going to say I have to ask. So. Since they rolled out the vaccine, did you feel like you had to go get it to protect your clients, or do you even have it? Just a quick question.
Okay, so here's the interesting thing. Okay. I don't answer those questions, and this is why. Because I actually know people who have taken the vaccine and have gotten very sick. Some of them irreversibly sick. And I advocated for people to do what was right for them. And when I found out somebody that I knew that is really going through some medical stuff, I had decided, you know what, we have an influence on everybody. You know, we have a level of influence on everybody we come in contact with. And so I decided that I was going to just be private about my own situation because I advocate for you doing what's right for you and your health. I've already done what I have to do to be safe. But I don't advocate for nobody else because I would feel terrible if somebody went and got the vaccine on my Reyna, it said it was going to be okay. If they were nervous and then they wind up, because this family that I'm speaking about, their daughter was advocating strong, like, mom, go, go, go. Now she feels awful that her mother is going through so much. So I had made a conscious decision that I was like, you know what? Just do what's right for you. Which a lot of people are like, oh, you didn't take the vaccine. You know what? Believe whatever you want to believe. I'm safe. I know I'm safe, and I practice safe measures, but I don't advocate either way. I just tell people do what's right for you so that I have a clean conscience. So, and again, like, she's not the only person. I do know several other people who are Yeah. So
right. I love that answer because we talk about that. I love it because we talk about that. We talk about this every week so and some celebrities say, oh, you should take it or F your freedom or whatever they're saying. And I'm like, I'm just so tired of hearing people say, take it, don't take it. I'm just dead tired of it. And it's like, just don't be a bad influence, or don't just keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself. If you're going to get it. If don't try to, promote it on somebody or something like that. So I love that answer.
Yeah. And it's like, and then I mean, for the most part, like it's just doing what's for you. Like, why listen to anybody else? Listen to your own conscience. Yeah, right. Listen to your own spirit speak for you and guide you. Sometimes people know that it isn't for them, and they do it under like stress, or because they are fear of losing their job, and then they wind up getting sick from someone else. Something that was in there that didn't jive with them well.
Right.
So, I mean, I had one time I was at a clinic, and I asked them, "Oh, are you giving the they said something about the vaccine. I said, "Oh, you guys are doing this was earlier in the vaccine." I said, "You give vaccine?" He said, "I personally don't give the shot." And I was like, "You don't do it?" He said, "No, I let my aides do it." And I said, well, can I ask you why you don't do it? And he was like, "Because I take my oath very serious, and there has never been a vaccine that hasn't hurt someone."
Right.
And so I was like, "Oh, this is true." He said,
"I'm sorry, who was that said that?"
This was a doctor.
Oh, okay.
So I got a question. I know you said you're not going to answer it personally, but so I got a question. When you see Biden that says anybody with 100 or more employees have to get it, what would you do if the state says everybody with small businesses are required to get it? What is your thoughts on that? Because they're already saying now, anybody with 100 or more employees have to get it. So what's your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts? I think that I feel like it's kind of a bullying kind of thing, because again, people are put on the spot to make decisions that nobody else are going to answer for except them with their own health. So I feel like they put themselves in a position where you can't sue them, you can't be angry, and you're forced to do something. So I kind of feel like it's, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hope that that's not the situation where I have to turn people away because they didn't provide or whatever. I'm going to hope that that's not, and I guess it's the bridge that I'm going to have to cross when I come to it, because honestly, that's why we live in America, that we have, we have freedom here. We have choices here, and mandates are not laws. But I do realize that a lot of this stuff is strong arming companies into to forcing their people into doing things that might not work for them. So say a big employee, 100 and some more people, and everybody gets vaccinated, and 25 of them per hour had an adverse reaction or sick or whatever, but nobody else is going to be held responsible. So this person did it because they're going to lose their job, and so I just think that it's sketchy to me. It don't feel right to me, and it's a sad situation that we're in right now, that we all have to make these choices and don't really know what the outcome's going to be.
Right. So I think you said, I think we're in September. I think you said late 2020. You said, look, I think I outgrown my partner, and it was time for me. Sometimes it happens, right? It happens. You guys say, you know what, I need to step out, and I need to do my own thing. So you decided, you talk to your husband and say, hey, you know what, I need to do my own thing. And, he says, you should have did it a long time ago, whatever the case may be. And you started researching and looking for a spot. I think you said that your other salon was in Okemos. And then you're like, you know what, I'm going to go look in Lansing. You start looking for a spot. And then you just say, look, you ran into somebody that owned, I guess, the strip mall or something, or where you're at, and you knew them. And you just, you were like, oh my God, I'm just going to open my own spot in there you are. You came up with the name Ray of Light. You said that your dad used to call you Ray of Light.
That's sweet.
Love it.
So I thought that was awesome,
especially when it means something, right?
Right. And you open up your own shop, and the way you explained it to me,
you kind of broke up there at the end.
I'm sorry. The way you explained it to me was that you wanted to offer something different. You wanted to offer so many different services that the other salon wasn't doing. And I thought that was kind of amazing. And then I'll let you explain some of that stuff. Like you were telling me, like you were offering like your walls for artists, different. We lost her.
I think we lost her.
Yeah. Let me just remove her. I'll remove her and then I'll wait till she comes back.
I'm caught.
She was basically saying that she was offering different spots. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you were offering different spots of your wall for different artists. You were offering different shelves for different makeup artists. I thought that was amazing. So I'll let you describe that, and then you could tell me a little bit what your thought process is. You can do this kind of the thing that you were going to announce and all that good stuff. So go ahead.
Okay, so in the process of trying to get this place together, and I got it. I secured it. I secured it with my stimulus check. Thank you, Biden.
That's great.
or Trump or whoever it was in office at the time, they gave me some free money, and I said if the money came available during that time, I made my decision that if I had to come to Jesus moment with myself, and I was like, if I get that moment, I'm going to the moment and the opportunity, I'm going to act on it. And so all of a sudden, this magic check showed up, and I was like, it's my opportunity.
Universe is listening to you.
Yes. And so, I was getting co-signed on everything. Like, this is the direction that you need to go. And, I put something in perspective that I was not able to do out there in Okemos. Some of the freedoms that I didn't have there. And one of them is that I have a heart for service and servicing underprivileged people. People who are out on the street. And I usually in the spring, I go out to a couple of the hotels that have homeless people in them and cut their hair for them and their beards.
I love that.
That's awesome.
It's not anything that I advertise or tell anybody about. It's just kind of something I do for myself just because I really want to help people. And on top of that, I get a lot of feedback from people like, oh my God, that's so dangerous being alone with them,
I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. I service the community as well. And I try to, I always keep a basket in my car with snacks, food. I always keep $1 bills on me. Every corner here in Arizona, we have such a huge homeless population, right? That it's like it's overwhelming because it plays on your heart, and you're like, I wish I could help everybody, and one day I'm going to be able to, trust me. But like you, I don't need to take a picture of it. I don't need to tell people. If you're on the phone with me at any given moment, you hear me handing something to somebody, because that's what you're supposed to do. And not only does it do for you, like it's humanity. Like they're human. They're human, and we're all there. A lot of us are only just one step away from being in their position. So hats off to you for servicing them.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. So I that's, and I realized, like, again, when you were in COVID situation, again, there was another thought of thing was like anybody can lose their home. Anybody can lose
man.
So, that was what prompted me to go the extra, like say, you know what, this is my decision. This is what I'm going to do. I kept it to myself too. Like I discussed it with my husband and everything, but lightly, but I kept a lot of it to myself because I don't know, like I just kept it to myself. And so when the opportunity
don't need
came,
that praise. A lot of people want to do it, and then they want to take a selfie, and they want everybody to know. And it's like, are you really doing it for them, or are you doing it for are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it to help others? Which is that?
And I struggled with that concept too. But you know what? The thing is like I gotta look at it like this. that person is encouraging other people to be better, then kudos to them. If they say, I have enough time, I have enough time and energy and money to do this, some people might think they're trying to be using it to make themselves upgrade themselves or whatever. But it could be, you can look at it like that, or you can have a different perspective and be like, this person is showing an example of being human, just treating other
I don't
people.
think it's a bad thing to tell others. What I don't like is, you have to think, someone is at their lowest point, right? They're on the corner, they're holding a sign that says they're hungry, they're low, they're this. And then you document their lowest point. Like, they're already either embarrassed or ashamed or feel some type of way because, I mean, look at when any of us, if you've ever been in need and you've had to ask somebody for help, it's not the most easiest thing to do. Now imagine this is your life and you have somebody with a camera in your face as you're asking for help. I just, and it's okay for people to say, oh, I helped somebody or this and that. Like recently, when I came to Michigan, I have a homeless man that I took care of, and he passed away, and I made sure he had a proper burial because he deserved that. And I told people, but the aspect of documenting somebody's hurt and pain, and let them keep their pride a little bit. But and back to what you do with the haircuts, that man, all of us have had a haircut before, right? And it makes you just feel like $1 million. So I can't even imagine the joy that they get when you cut their hair and you give them a fresh, clean shave. I mean, probably like a new person, even if it's just for that moment. It's so awesome.
So I was watching Bill Maher last night, my Friday thing, and I don't mean to jump on my soapbox, but and you guys were mentioning homeless or whatever. I was in San Francisco, and you lived in San Francisco. There's an epidemic of homeless people. There's an epidemic
everywhere.
In California. There's an epidemic of homeless people. I think I get mad when this government sends billions of dollars to Afghanistan. We have some issues, and like I said, I don't mean to go down the rabbit hole, but we have some issues here in our country that we need to solve with affordable housing. Our homeless, like, we need to get that under check because we have a serious problem, and I don't think we should be sending any money to Afghanistan, $81 billion, and we have this fucking problem here in this country with homeless people. Like, we need to get these people off the street, get them affordable housing, and get them some way back so they can contribute and not live on the street. Now, I know that Tori had a friend that she took care of, and he said he liked living like that, and I get that. But like I said, I don't mean to get on my soapbox, but I just feel so bad when I was in San Francisco and I saw the homeless problem, the homeless people problem. It just makes me sad. So sorry, I don't mean to go that way. But.
No, my friend wasn't. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rena.
I was going to say my San Francisco has always had a homeless problem since I can remember. Since I was a child, they've had a homeless problem. Again, we're going back to my dad. My dad would give me money.
Arizona is the same way.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, my dad explained this to me, and I would always, he'd give me an allowance. I get $10. I would go to the bank with him. I'd get a roll of quarters so that if I knew we were going out to Market Street or Mission or whatever, I could make sure that I had enough to give at least one person. And my dad would always be
love that.
You got a rich heart, you have a gritty heart, but you will never be rich. He's like, you give it all away. But he explained to me, he said, there are some people who choose to live like this, and they come to California, warm places like California, Texas, Florida, whatever, where they know that that there's a lot of tourism and there's money and it's warm to sleep outside, and this is their job. This is their job.
Yeah,
this is what
there is some
sell maps, whatever it may be.
But that was then,
maps, whatever.
And now here we are now. In California, I still have friends out there. I still have friends out there, and I asked them because I kept hearing about all this stuff about the news and how terrible the problem was, and I was kind of it's always been a problem. And I asked my friend and my friend's daughter, and I was like, hey, is it really that bad out there? And she said, you know what? It's just as many people, but it's the type of people now. And she said they don't care. She said before it was more or less homeless people, homeless hustlers, stuff like that. She said, but these are like hardcore drug addicts. Who leave needles everywhere in the park. They shoot up right in front of people and their children. They're dumping in the street publicly.
Los Angeles
I agree with that.
Number two as far as homeless cities.
Yeah, even though they want to say it's a homeless epidemic, I truly believe it's a drug abuse epidemic more than it's the homelessness. I feel that the homelessness is a domino effect of the drug epidemic that's happening with it, because like you said, back in the day it was different. Like it was a different class of homeless people, and they were hustlers. I guess entrepreneurs in their own right, if you want to call it that. But now, like you said, the drug abuse, so sad to see a girl on a corner that is literally pivoting on one foot out of her mind, and you're like, she's clearly on something. And one of my best friends is a social worker for the homeless here in Arizona. And, you meet a lot of people that were like my homeless friend who said he was older, though. He was a wanderer. He enjoyed being outside under the stars. He was set in his ways. He was an older man. But this young group and this young crowd, they you're right. They don't care. They don't care at all. And then you still have the heart where you still feel bad and you still want to help them, even though they chose this life. I just feel like that's not my choice to judge you. But if I can help you even get to your next meal or your next corner or your next bus stop, then here you go. Peace on your path.
There you go. Sorry, like I said, I didn't mean to go down that.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah. I want to, at here at Ray of Light, that's one of the things that I have a heart for is to help people. And I want to be able to have people, because in Okemos, it was a little bit more upper scale area. And there was a fear that people
Okemos is kind of fancy. They're a little more upscale there.
We brought people like that in, that it would disrupt the other. Yeah. So she, so I didn't have that freedom. And that's that now that I am in a place, and actually I'm in an area that is at risk for decline, where my salon is, but it's a great area, but I'm near certain things where I can help people, and that's what I want. I want to be able to help people. I want a place where people a pickup for food. I have space where people can come and pick, drop off food and people can come pick it up. During my building, getting this building and being here, I have all of this space, and I looked around. I was telling I was just like, I had everything set up, and I'm walking around, and I go outside and I look at my area, and there's just a lot of rental space because a lot of places closed down during COVID and couldn't recover. And I saw across the street that there was a restaurant that had just opened up, and I was really excited that something else was coming to the area that was going to bring more people. I went over there, introduced myself, started talking to them. I started to realize, I have an opportunity. I don't know if there's a community here, but if there isn't, I want to build a community of small businesses, because there's so much rental space and it's affordable.
Right.
So I was like, how can I help people? How can I, I don't use all of them all the time because I'm always doing something different. So I thought to myself, why don't I rent out daily, weekly, monthly to people who are just starting out and don't have the money or the clientele to sustain a brick and mortar.
Right. Getting a big contract.
And a lot of other salons, you have to come in there with your own clientele and rent from them. And it's hard when you're trying to build. So in this situation, I said, you know what? I will schedule my schedule around them. If they want Tuesday and Wednesday and that's all they can do clientele wise, then I'll schedule Thursday, Friday, Saturday around them. in order to help them with the idea that they build up enough to either rent from me permanently, on a more consistent basis, or we can launch them into the rental space in this area. And then I took that concept as it was, I have shelf space. I can rent or allow people, because I was with my best friend, Deirdre, one of my best friends. She has her own business. It's Nature's 92 Sea Moss. And I was going to all these vendor type things where people were setting up their own products, their own merchandise.
Oh, I think we're losing you.
Yeah, I think we lost her. So what?
I want to hear about that sea moss, though. We're losing her.
Yeah, what is sea moss? She told me a little bit. What is it, Tori?
I'm not even gonna say that I'm like an expert on it, but I just learned about it from Dr. CB, who was the doctor who was trying to cure cancer and all these infectious diseases, and it's is she back?
No,
that's what Will, a friend of mine, they jumped into that last year. It's for
like
aging.
A super nutrient. It's like a super nutrient. I don't even know if that's like the correct term.
It helps aging
the list is literally this long of the amount of stuff that it does for you. I have a jar of it in my fridge.
She mentioned it yesterday. I was like, what? What is that?
Yeah,
women started.
I need to do some more research on everything. Yeah, I eat it.
Stuff like that.
It's like jelly.
Okay.
You back?
Yeah, it's actually okay. So, sea moss is a sea vegetable that grows on rocks in the ocean, and they leach out the minerals. Yeah, it's a superfood, and it leaches out the nutrients from the rock, and then she crafts it. Like, they take that out of the sea, they dry it, and then they craft it into a jelly. And the jelly is consumable, and it's got no flavor whatsoever. You can pretty much put it in anything. But she also took it to the next level and did masks, facial masks, and they actually work really, really good. So
I'm gonna
wonderful.
need that information. I have a jar of it that I eat.
It burns. Yeah, put it on your face. Put it on your face.
Well, the one I got, the company that I got it from, really? Oh, I didn't know that. The company I got it from, they offered it, like I think they just put natural flavoring in it. So the one I got has a hint of pineapple to it. That's the one I picked. I could have got one without any flavor to it at all, but I was kind of nervous because I'm like, okay, I don't know how this is going to taste. Is it going to be weird texture? So I got a little flavor to feel a little more comfortable about the situation. But now I'm just going to be slapping that shit on my face.
People are nervous, but like
it's scary.
Eat it with applesauce.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is. I mean, if you don't know anything, but you know what? It doesn't have any flavor. It's got all of these minerals in it that, she educated me. I started using it and buying it from another company, and I was on it and I saw the benefits, and I could tell, I was feeling better. My skin was better. And then she had started to really do some research on it, and she decided to go for it, and I rooted her on. I thought it was a great idea, and I fully support her on that.
That's awesome. I want to get some more information about that.
The product is amazing.
Yeah, and there's other kinds other than just sea moss. There's Irish moss and a couple other ones I've seen before.
I started doing this sea moss for digestive.
Is there Greek moss?
Yeah. Well, they have different kinds of sea moss that come. Yeah.
Drake moss. I caught that. We caught that. They're Drake moss.
I don't know.
What's that?
He's making that up. He being funny.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're offering I know you said that that was your big announcement, that's what you're going to offer at your salon, correct? Lost her. She is frozen.
She'll be back. Yeah, let's hear it. I want to hear. I want to hear about it.
Alex,
checking it out.
Smooth criminal shirt on. I like it.
Mine doesn't want to stay up.
Oh God. Alex looked away. He was like, "Wait a minute."
Let's see what my cat's doing, buddy.
You know what's funny? You put you put your cat on.
I hear about this CMOS.
You put that cat on the screen. You know that's the same cat that my ex-wife has with the fat face.
No, same color.
Yeah, same color.
Tom and Jerry style.
Hey, welcome back.
Tom
Are you there?
style.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. So that was
been crazy lately.
Announcement.
I can hear you.
Go for it.
So
drum roll.
Yeah.
Drum roll sound, buddy.
I'm sorry.
I can't do it.
What?
No,
go ahead.
No, you just keep talking.
I just said we needed a drum roll.
Ignore them.
But
ignore them. You just keep talking.
Yeah. So I am using her.
Crap. We have a terrible connection, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you back?
I think I'm on. Yeah, I'm here. So yeah, so the first 6 people who say on here that I'm a winner at Ray of Light, I'm going to give them free each a facial here, and I'm going to be using that product to do the facial.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Yeah. So hopefully people chimed in. I can look back and see what was said or who said it first.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing. But yeah,
there's a lot of people that will chime in after and comment as well. So that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot more people that know about that than anybody might
think.
So
do you have a web page that we can look at the products that you're carrying and your... Go ahead.
I have a web page that I severely ignore and it suffers. Most of my stuff that I do, I try to put on. I try to put on Facebook, on my Facebook business page, Ray of Light Hair Studio & Co. So that's where you're gonna basically reach me the best, is through there.
Okay.
I think I am really having a hard time with the social media thing.
Me too.
Just trying
to be
trying to
it's a lot. Isn't
learn
it a lot
it.
of upkeep?
I actually got involved in this LEAP program. Yeah, it is a lot of upkeep. I got involved in this program though, the Lansing Economical Area Partnership. Yeah. And they actually been teaching me a lot. They help small businesses and stuff. So I'm learning. And it's I really feel old when I'm trying to learn this stuff.
You're never gonna stop learning though, so soak it up. That's
not
awesome,
easy.
You know?
It's
right.
No, because we've been trained to do things differently.
In the partnership, it's through the SB.
Yeah, things change. I'm sure. Like
I used to say. My saying when I was going through school and everything I'm trying to learn is if they can teach a monkey to go to space, I can learn anything.
Did you say it's through the SBA? The SBDC is sponsoring the program. Are there in cahoots in conjunction? And so I'm learning a lot of stuff for business. And how to run a business. And what I've learned is I don't know shit. I know, right?
I don't know.
I feel
nothing.
the same way every time I join a course. I'm like, damn, I don't know a damn thing.
I don't know nothing. Yeah. I had to do a business plan. I had in a one-page business plan, and they are so they're just so wonderful. They're so understanding Yeah. And I could not get the business plan. I mean, even like it was a step-by-step kind of thing. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to hand it in. And I was like, I put on the bottom, I'm like, I'm sick. I don't even know nothing. I feel like I know nothing. So, I'm learning slowly.
I'm sure you know way more.
I just saw one viewer. I just saw a viewer say, I'm here, ready for a road trip. I think it was Dawn. I think I saw Dawn comment. She's asking if other people are on. Yep, Dawn Mendoza said, I'm here, ready for a road trip. So, yeah, ray of light, Dawn.
Yeah, I put her web address right
there. Yay. She's so supportive. I love you, Dawn. Thank you.
That's awesome. I want to hear about these results of the facial. I'm here for the products. I can't road trip that far for one, but I want the products.
So congratulations. I know she said
it's a long way.
4
or 5 months. You're offering space for painters, local painters. You're offering shelf for makeup artists. You're offering areas for plants. You're doing this CMOS. And what other stuff are you doing? You said microblading. What else are you doing at your salon?
Well, I have had.
It sounds like a whole
one-stop shop. It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop. Yes, it is. My friend had turned me on to something called a yoni steam. For Christmas, she ripped and raved about it, and then for Christmas, she bought me and my other best friend a pack of this yoni stuff. The home kit. So
they don't know what that is. You gotta let them know what that is.
I literally was sitting there. I was literally sitting there like, oh my God, is this happening?
Raina, you gotta explain what that is to them. They don't know what that is. They don't know what that is.
Yeah, so a yoni is a Sanskrit word for your badge. And
vagina.
And so your yoni, it's your sacred badge. So they've been doing this. It's like an herbal steam that you sit on. You stamp the product, the herb, like a tea, and then you sit above it and you let it steam you, and it is amazing. It is amazing. That's all I can say. As a woman, I have never.
That's what women are doing right now. We're steaming our vag.
Yes, and what it does is a detox. It's a detox for the birth canal, for the uterus. It also stimulates your feminine energy. It detoxes your root chakra, and this is a practice that's been going on for hundreds of years. It's early Africa. African practice.
I knew what it was.
Island.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if y'all knew.
Yeah, I got a friend that does all of that.
I got
a friend that does all of that. So I knew what that was.
All I say is
they have it for guys, certain things for guys, and certain when it comes to the shop and stuff.
So Raina, do you provide the actual herbs or the herbal, or do you just you have a supplier that's there, or do you supply the actual seat? Like the seat they have for it?
Well, here's the thing. Okay? I'll give you the whole story. Okay, so I couldn't stop ripping and raving about it to my clients. I kept telling them how amazing it was, and then one of my clients was just like, you should offer the service. And I was just like, whoa. And I was like, I should. So, I kind of told I'm going to do it. I'm going to offer the service. I'm going to do it. And so I went and I talked to my friend about it, and I was just like, hey, you know what? I want to do this. And I kind of did drop it in her lap because I thought like, oh, this is, something we can do together or whatever. And it didn't work out that way.
Expertise,
And so it got put on the respectfully, we both decided for the sake of the friendship that it was probably not a good idea for us to go in business together. It wasn't a good time to, or whatnot, but and I respect her for saying that. But so most of the stuff was hers, and outside of the space, she invested in stuff, and she's gonna open her own place at one point in time. And I was kind of like, well, I'm going to rent this room out for something. But then I kept having my clients ask me, like, I want to do this, but I don't want to go to anybody. I wanted to refer them off to other people. They didn't want to wait for, for my friend to open her place. And I'm thinking, I'm a business person. I have the space. I have
do it
to
yourself.
Do this.
They're asking, so I must give them what they want, right? You got to cater to your.
Yeah, so you get a certain
it was a hard
type of
decision
product.
for me. I am working with somebody who in the area who rents this. We've been talking lightly about it, but most of my stuff I'm going to be buying from another person off of another site that does it already. It's already packaged and stuff like that. Until I get settled, because I didn't know anything the way my friend knew. She was the person who had all the knowledge, did all the research, and just turned me on to it.
Yeah.
And so
I've been researching it myself. A friend of mine's daughter has got me researching it, and I'm like, man, this is an amazing service that people could offer. And I was looking at like,
yes,
right. I'm like, everybody loves a juicy peach. Like, this is a good thing.
That's the one benefit. When I did it, the first time I did it, my husband came back from California from visiting the family, and he noticed. So he noticed.
I already know.
Like, yo, what's up with this?
What's this about?
I was like, yeah, this is the real deal. I was like, this is the real deal.
My first purchase was the little capsules. Prior to steaming, I did the little capsule, right? Which is another detox, like a suppository thing, right? So I'm like, I do what with this? And they're like, oh, so my girlfriend's like, oh, girl, don't put no boric acid up there. I said, well, I don't think that it's bad. It's on the same site, and the same people are using for the steaming. And I was like, and the steam is like tea, and I love me some tea and herbs, so this can't be bad, right? I said, I'm gonna do it. So the first initial shock, you're like, what was that? What just happened down there? Something magical's happening down there.
Right.
It's like it's repairing all the years of whatever happened in childbirth. It's done. So,
yeah, absolutely. And the more that I learned about it, because like I said, she knew everything and I didn't know shit. And so I was like, all right. I started to do some research on my own, and I decided that some money came through. At the time, I was struggling trying to keep my business going and everything. It's just a couple months ago, about a month ago. And so I got.
So you'll be offering this soon?
Yes, that's my announcement. Is that I am going to be offering. In the month of October, I'm going to be launching it. I've been working on it. Like I said, I was struggling financially to try to figure something out because I have to keep my doors open, right? So I had to make a hard decision and say I'm going to do this without, on my own.
For our listeners, give them just a little rundown of what'll happen. They'll come in, they'll do it. What's the duration? How's it go? That way they feel a little more comfortable when they come to see you and they know what to expect.
When I get the website put up, because the training that I went through is helping me. Actually, I was trying to get to that. I actually had enrolled in a knowledge course on it.
Nice, awesome.
To be certified, because I didn't know nothing, and I had to. And it's a wealth of knowledge.
I want to be Yoni certified.
Yes, so yes,
that's awesome.
And so they're helping me with setting up my menu and setting all of that up and duration and stuff. So once that's launched, I'll be putting that out there to let people know duration. But for me, I was on there for an hour and a half. I know that's
right. I know that's right.
I was there for an hour and a half. I was like, this
get my peach nice and juicy. Make it all fresh and pretty.
What my friend had described it. She said,
snack. Get me some mineral water.
Yep. I was sitting there with a glass of wine. I'm gonna be honest.
You can do the wine too. It's wine 30 somewhere. Steam the yoni and drink the wine.
My dog on my lap. My dog on my lap and a glass of wine. So
that's the thing too.
But like I said, I will get to you, Dawn. Thank you for your support.
I love it.
But yeah, so it's coming, and I'm gonna make those announcements when the thing is. I mean, I'm gonna let people know more information. But yeah, it's half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So 45 minutes.
Awesome.
So that would be the price range. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming in the second week. I want to finish my LEAP program because I want to give them all, learn as much as I can. And the course study between these two things was too much for me. I had too many plates spinning. I was feeling really overwhelmed. But like I said, even coming to this decision was really hard for me because, I didn't know if I could handle it. I didn't know if it was something that I could take on. And honestly, it wasn't really something that I wanted her to take on. I wanted her to
oh no, you're going to have this down pat.
Yeah, I wanted to provide that
opportunity. You'll be good to go.
Space. Yeah, I had the space for it, and that's what I wanted to do. But it didn't work out.
You offered that opportunity, and it is what it is. And
I respect. I totally respect the decision because for the sake of the friendship, it was really the decision.
Absolutely.
Of the friendship. And I valued my friendship more than ruining it,
Well, you think about it, you saved a friendship and you picked up another skill. So it was meant to be. And you were the right friend to be able to
with each other again,
Yeah.
down the road.
And the doors, because I wait for God and the universe to direct me in things.
Same.
And I wait for signs. And the signs that were, and I said, you know what, if I'm meant to do this, this is what's going to happen. And
sounds like everything's working in your favor, to be honest.
Everything just started to unfold. People started showing up in my life saying, I will make this for you. I will do this for you. I will come in there and help you. And don't worry about this enemy. I was so overwhelmed and so grateful that, okay, universe, thank you. This
You're
is
like,
the
damn,
sign.
I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Wake up every morning and say thank you.
Yeah. Yes. And I've been just so grateful because I waited and I was like, I really, like I said, I struggled. I was really in a dark night of my life because I was going through some personal stuff. And I'm going to tell you what, being an entrepreneur, I'm going to let anybody know, it is a wonderful thing. But there's a lot of ugly crying behind the scenes.
It's a whole roller coaster. There's a whole roller coaster.
There is a lot of ugly crying. I mean,
I say entrepreneurship
between the month
is not
of like
for the weak.
July and the beginning of August was probably like the hardest.
Right.
No.
And being an entrepreneur, I look at those like
I had a lot of hard lessons I was learning, not just about my business, but my personal life and my relationships with people. And everything was hitting me at once. And I was like, okay, either you can lay in bed and you can cry, or you can get out of bed and you can put your big girl pants on and remember why you were doing this and who you're doing this for, mainly yourself. And you never needed anybody to stand on the sidelines and cheer you on. So you're your biggest cheerleader. You're your biggest support system. And you're your biggest confidant and the only person you can really depend on. And
I'm going through that right now with myself. I'm like, I'm remember who the fuck you are. Do you know who you are?
Yep.
You're
and I had to do that.
Crown.
I had that moment. And even like with the entrepreneur program, I was like, oh my gosh, when they gave me the cake, they downloaded it and I was looking at everything that was expected of me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I was like, can I do this? Can I do this? And I was like, you know what? Yes, you can do this. Yes. Every time I did, I can wake up in the morning.
Right where you're supposed to be. You're right where you're supposed to be. That's a beautiful thing.
And where you got to find yourself is just being grateful that you're there because gratitude is everything in this.
Everything comes from a place of gratitude, Reyna. Everything.
I try to be positive and.
Yeah. That's my mantra. Live gratefully.
And I told Enrique last night when we had our pre. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I told him, I said, you know what? I am not a person who dwells. I don't sit in anything too long. I just work through my issues in the moment. I believe strongly that, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel shitty. It's okay to have a moment. It's not okay to stay there. And it's not okay.
I always say that. Don't unpack and live there.
Man, because things are always going to get better no matter what you're going through.
Yeah, or put it off on other people. Yeah, it's not going to stay bad forever. And I don't want to spread that. I put my hands on people every single day. And if I don't check what's going on in me, I'm going to transfer that to somebody else.
Absolutely.
And they might not understand that I'm going through something, but what they're going to know is they didn't like the way they felt when they were with me.
Right. That transfer energy never lies. That transfer energy never lies. Huge.
Yes, it doesn't. And I have to, and I constantly keep that inside of my head. I'm like, you know what? It's okay to be a rapist, but it's not okay to stay there, and it's not okay to take it out on other people and spread this. So I put my big girl panties on, and I keep every day. I keep going forward. I keep moving forward like a shark. I tell them,
well, I'm excited to see your growth. Yeah, I always say that. I said a shark don't go around telling people, I'm a shark. It just does shark shit, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to follow your growth and see how things go for you. That's amazing.
That is amazing. I want to thank you for joining us today. So if we're in the Lansing area or if we're in Michigan and we want to go do all this CMOS and badge tightening and all this other stuff, how do we find
get that body right?
Yeah.
How do we find Reyna in the ray of light?
I am located, well, if you know where my salon is, I am located on the south side of Lansing, 3220 South Pennsylvania Avenue. And you can find me on Facebook, Ray of Light Hair Studio and Co.
I put it also, in the chat.
So you can find me on. Yeah, I got like 2 or 3 Instagram pages. You'll find me on one of those. And I'm under Ray of Light, or I am Ray of Light, or Ray of Light Hair Studio.
So and Ray is spelled R-E-Y, correct?
Yes, R-E-Y, the beginning of my name. Yeah. That's where the name came from, Ray of Light.
Yep. Yeah. Just want to make sure so people can find you.
In this new business.
Thank you.
New salon.
Yes.
Hope this wasn't nerve-wracking as you thought it was. It was pretty easy. So once again, thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. I know
it was great to see you again.
Much. It was great to talk with you. Chop it up.
I know you have some clients to get to, so you have an awesome Saturday.
You know.
Go ahead.
Yes, you too. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys. I truly appreciate it being here and having me here. You guys make it so much easier. I was nervous. But thank you for making everything so comfortable.
No worries.
And I want to thank
all my friends talking and having fun.
Who follow me and support me.
Now you know what to expect
all the people
when you come back in a few months, couple months maybe.
Yes. Yes, have me back. Sure. Have me back, and I'll tell you how great it turned out.
Be checking up on
Absolutely. We can't wait to hear your progress and the things and your growth from now till then. It's amazing. Have a great day.
I just want to watch the vagina tightening. That's just
me. He wants to see a vagina steam.
Yeah,
maybe we'll make it a field trip. Me and Dree will make it a field trip.
Yeah. We'll make it a field trip. Yeah, and I'll get a steam. It'll be a fun time. Hey guys, get in the car. I'm going to steam my JJ.
You have a great Saturday.
Great to see you again, Reyna. God bless you.
Hey. They are now doing prostate steaming.
Oh, steaming. That sounds amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
We need to getting you guys a ball bag steaming. We're steaming your nutsack. I'm telling you, once you get it done, you will never go back. It's a good time.
That is crazy.
Now she has me wanting to be yoni steaming certified. Like, that sounds awesome.
Steaming certified. I just want to go and check it out and see, this vagina steam thing. That sounds very interesting.
So you sit on, it looks like a little, kind of like a stool, but it's open, and you sit on it and it's cozy and comfortable, and they put all the herbs on the inside. I'm sure there's a little bit more to that, and there's certain ones that you use and stuff, but I've done it, and it's an experience the first time. There's some things that release, and there's some things that you feel up in there, and it's awesome. You feel great after. Even your body feels good after. So imagine what it'll do for your guys' scrotum.
Feel clean. I'm always down for cleaner.
Yeah, get your taint
being
steamed.
Cleaner.
Oh wow.
Cleaner.
I'm
always down for a cleaner, Alex said.
I got to be honest with you. I know.
I did the research with a friend. I seen that whatever helps.
I got to be honest with you guys. There's women have so much upkeep, like keeping
so much.
Eyebrows, makeup, vagina steam.
It is so hard being a woman.
It is. It sounds like
so much. I'm over here looking up. I'm like, okay, I need to make an appointment for this. Gotta do this.
Guess there's no. I mean, the old woman that's I guess June Cleaver, I would say, and so that probably didn't take care of all that. The vagina. She had the big bush.
Did you see her house? Are you crazy? She was
Did
probably
you see
the
her
cleanest
house?
woman
Her
on
shit
earth.
was on top.
That's a bad
She probably
example.
had a bush, but it was trimmed, right? And she used all natural things. Like she didn't go to the salon. She put mayonnaise on her hair because she knew like the natural stuff, right? There wasn't, but she listened. She did all of that. It was just different products and different times.
Did you see her house? Are you kidding me?
Oh, did you see her hair? Her hair was
nothing.
That's like saying Lucille Ball didn't take care of herself. Like, man, that woman.
Well, I think it's so.
They were
and
paid.
Betty White. They were paid.
I'm not the metro. I guess I don't know if that is a term anymore, but the metrosexual as a male. I think it's pretty easy for me. I get out of bed, I take a shower, brush my teeth.
So easy.
And I'm good.
I got lashes, hair, micro needling, nails, vagina steam, tanning. Man, I could keep going, but it's literally like a whole every month. Or some things go like, I try to stagger them every 6 to 8 weeks, certain things, but other things are every 2 weeks, like clockwork. And what's crazy is if you really love these things, or these are things you enjoy to do, if you miss it, if you miss that 2 week marker and it goes longer than 3 weeks, the service is going to end up costing you more because you have to start from fresh again instead of keeping up on what you've already done. So once you get into that cycle, it's like, okay, I got to stay with it, because if I don't, it's going to end up costing me more money to start all over again. It's only, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and throw some numbers out there. It's only $100 to do my lashes instead of $250 every 2 weeks, right? But still, that's $200 plus tip, $250 a month I spend to make my eyes look.
My shit.
But scissors to my shit. See, I'm lucky because I know a lot of, I was in the beauty industry for many years. So I know a lot of things, and I'm easy to pull up a YouTube video and teach myself. But there's other things where it's like, I don't wanna do my own nails. I like going to the nail salon. I like a little,
you like the way they
woman with little
other people do it,
strong hands doing my feet. I love all of that.
The experience,
it's peaceful for me. It's it's therapeutic.
You know
right?
what? I like going and getting. Like I said, I did it when I was a lot younger, but going to get my eyebrows done if my sister's wedding. There's a wedding or something.
Until that lady takes that edge off.
I'd get the glow on my shit. I didn't pay attention to what nobody. Hey, I used to get so many compliments in high school, and you do your thing and I will do mine. Clean. I felt clean. I felt really clean. The first time I did
crazy arch. Like I always look surprised. My brows are always super arched, right? But my brows did survive the 90s, when we shaved them off and drew them the fuck back on, because that made any fucking sense. We're going to... So they survived them, but certain parts didn't grow in as thick as others. And then I had a piercing up there, and, so... I really want, a friend of mine just got hers microbladed a couple of days ago again, and I really want to do it again. I was actually going to do it before I came to Michigan, but let me tell you, it's a whole thing. They scab up, You
Oh,
can't,
right.
for
So
2 weeks you're looking flaky.
Take care of them after.
So it's a thing that you got to time. Like, you got to make sure you got nothing important going on. You don't want people looking. You're like, what the fuck's going on with her eyebrows? Why has she got skin falling off her face?
Right.
You wear a baseball cap, all of that. It is tough being a woman. And then you got people over here and media and men judging us. Like, I am trying my hardest here. Like, fuck. And it's expensive. So kudos to the ladies that keep it tight, keep it right, keep it all together.
I'm always constantly saying that. God bless you.
And kudos to the ladies that don't feel that just have the beautiful hair. They got the long, thick, amazing nails. They got the great skin. They don't have to wear a drop of makeup. Eat whatever they want. Yeah, you bitches. Kudos to you. Kudos to you bitches with the full lashes.
We'll move on with the show.
God bless you. Can't stand
God bless you all with your great skin.
Go
see my skin.
Dory has stage 4.
Go see my vagina. Sorry, Drake.
See my steam.
If anybody wants to send me a gift card towards my beauty products, y'all slide my DM.
Slide in the DM.
Slide my DM. I'll post a picture of my toes.
Gift card.
We'll move on with the show. Shannon Doherty has stage 4 cancer, breast cancer. You know, I always thought she was bad, but I heard she was a real cutmeister behind closed doors. But I mean, she has stage 4. Ooh.
Yeah, she's been in stage 4 for a minute. I'm sure when, I heard the same thing about.
God, we've been hearing that for like 20-something years.
Right. It's nothing new. And it makes you wonder. And I'm sure, even obviously not knowing her.
It wasn't just her.
No, but you see her now. And even though she's not really in the limelight a lot, you can kind of tell her demeanor's changed. And I mean, as you would expect, she's now battling a terminal illness. And I'm sure that when that makes you look back on your life and wonder about what you did and how you treated people and who you came in contact. And sometimes you have this feeling like, why me, right? This karma, why did this happen to me? And so I'm sure it's humbled her, which it's sad.
She's been pretty strong on it. She spoke out on it many times.
So strong.
Her husband's like, you wouldn't even think she has it. So she's obviously.
And that's that fighter spirit she has, and that spunk that she has, and that fuck your feelings, I'm going to do this anyways kind of attitude that's probably carrying her through this right now.
As soon as he said that was my first thought. Like, it's kind of good to be a bitch sometimes, male or female.
Right?
Sometimes.
Yeah. I agree. Sometimes, but I'm sure that's what's carrying her through this right now is that, the attitude. But you can sense a little. She's more humble. She's a little softer demeanor. So, thoughts goes out to her.
For sure.
Keep up
and
the
any
fight.
Other woman, Dylan, fighting that. And
absolutely.
Yes. Right. Coming up soon, October.
Wear your pink.
Month.
Save the tatas.
So Jessica Alba company, Honest Co., is being sued for alleged COVID-related fraud. Your diaper sales claim were really shitty. Is being sued by shareholders who claim that the company misled by failing to disclose so many parents stocked up on diapers and the honest product of beginning the pandemic sales.
She said.
Yeah, so it sounds like they misled some of the stockholders, and the diapers weren't as good as they said they were, and they lied. I didn't even know she.
Alba?
Yeah, I didn't even know she had a diaper company.
I guess I did see a brand. Is it called Elba?
It's called the Honest Company.
Oh, I didn't know that was her company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
How ironic that's the name.
What happened was kind of similar to almost what Raina was talking about. She opened up the business and the COVID hit, and they had they had a booming sell. But what they didn't tell the shareholders was that the numbers down the road were looking to, they opened up it was just bad timing, and that was something that they supposedly allegedly kept under wraps, obviously because they didn't they didn't want to have to pay them or what they couldn't. So there was, who knows?
Okay, so I know that in the right is their responsibility to let them know, but I mean, are they living under a fucking rock?
Right.
Are you living under a fucking rock that you don't know what your investments are about to do during the pandemic? I kind of don't really feel bad for them. Like, where the fuck you at? If you got that much money, I know damn well you're watching what's going on in the world.
Right.
So
they'll be all right.
Half man,
right?
Half man, half Wendy. Is Wendy Williams hospitalized for psychotic?
What did you see? And that's why she hospitalized, because people like you coming at her sideways. I was like,
is that the story? Like, is he
I'm
reading
like,
the
half
story?
man, half Wendy. What? I'm over here thinking Wendy, like the fast food place. I'm like, I like me.
I'm looking down to see if that's what it said in the article that I have. But
so
I didn't even pull an article.
You just bullied her with the mental motherfucker.
She's
over here talking about she's in there for mental.
Yeah, her show's gonna be delayed.
She's got great boobs.
Step out the house, you don't slip.
She's got great boobs and great legs. She's got super long legs and amazing tits. I wish my boobs were that big.
Yeah, but she's got cookie sheet ash.
She's a machine.
Not everybody can be perfect. Again.
No,
she's a freaking machine. So I'm not surprised that she is like, I can't imagine her stress level, but she's always, and they say that they pushed the show back premiere to October 4th, I think, or something.
She had a lot of personal stuff going on. She had a lot happen in her past.
Right.
Who knows what trauma she's dealing with? And then you got people over here talking about where's your Adam's apple? Like, what, motherfucker, I'm going to need you to sit the fuck down, okay? I'm trying to get through this my damn self, look cute, go on TV, still say, how you doing, and all that stuff. And now you coming at me like this, I'm going to need you to take 2 seats.
I think she's going to make it to her premiere because, like I said, she's such a freaking workhorse.
She will. She's gonna pull through.
She's gonna I gotta be there for
my
premiere.
She's gonna pull through. And she's not even like one of my favorites. Sometimes I'm like, oh, she be stirring the pot, right? But
you're right.
But in general,
I just watched one of her and Ray J she had on, and that one was pretty funny to watch. Like,
well,
she was just trying to.
You seen the one with
it's entertaining.
Her and
she's good.
You saw the interview with her and DMX, right?
Oh yeah.
So same thing, right?
Yeah, from back when she was on radio when she first started, right?
There's things about her that I don't like, but her appearance and her mental health, I don't poke fun at because I know that, that's a tough thing, and I have to fuck somebody up. They poke fun at my appearance and my mental health. You're gonna read about it.
Oh yeah.
So I try not to do that. She's going through enough.
When you go through that yourself, it'll humble you really, really quick.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see how that outcome.
When you're dealing with things like you said, the anxiety and depression off and on, it comes and goes.
I hope she comes through and
get humbled really quick.
Okay. And hopefully that she did this to help herself. And again, checking yourself in somewhere if you need some help is not a weakness; it's a strength.
Right.
And she's a strong person. So what do strong people do? She's gonna get it done. And so my hat goes off to her, regardless of what her ass looks like, Drake. I'm just saying.
All right, so the Queen, Aretha Franklin, respect tops Rolling Stones.
Don't you say something about her? I'm gonna come get you. 500
greatest songs list. I thought that was amazing. So her respect is the top of the list. 500 greatest songs ever. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that list is kind of bullshit, but whatever.
I didn't see the list.
Yeah, check it out. Some of them you're gonna be like, what?
What?
Like,
fuck.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't please everybody, but it is a badass list though. I mean, the list is not wrong, but where they're placed, you'll be like,
Right. You're like, you should be
your
down
own
here.
thing. Right.
Why are you so far up?
Right. So, Tejano singer Selena's husband, Chris Perez, finally resolved long legal battle with Selena Quintanilha's family. Alex, do you know what was he getting? Like, not royalties? What was he not? Was he not getting? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know the dad was kind of a straight. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't gonna give shit up. So
Selena's dad.
Yeah, I don't know if he was just not getting the money he deserved. I know he was only her husband for a short time, so I don't know if her dad just basically, Abraham was just like, I'm not giving this guy anything. He didn't deserve anything.
Well, it wasn't up to him. He is, from what I read, he's Chris, her husband, after her death, signed everything over to him, basically like trusting him with everything. So
and then he betrayed him.
I'm sure that's where, whatever happened, it doesn't say what happened, but they obviously had their differences, and after that, he responded with the lawsuit, and then they responded with the lawsuit towards Chris, towards her husband, and because they felt like he had violated the agreement, and then he countersued, so they got past it, and now they're like I said, they came up, they resolved it, and now they're working together. So it's actually a good story.
That's good.
It's another
to honor, continue to honor her legacy. So that's the most important thing. So that's good that they're on the same page after.
Absolutely.
It just comes down to money,
25 years.
I know, right? Like,
I think in her situation, it was not about money, but about just what was going to be done with her, with anything, with the, you know what I mean, with her name, just period. So, I mean, I think that, I don't know, that's just my opinion, because just the way they were, was portrayed to be. So, I don't know. And coming from a Mexican family, I mean, we know how Italian, Mexican, I mean, we know how that could be. It's not easy for any family to deal with something like that. All of us at the drop of a hat. So, like I said, it's a good thing that they resolved it. But I'm sure that's what she would want. So,
yeah.
So, Nicki Minaj, I know we didn't talk about this, but she tweeted out about the COVID vaccine. Testicle got swollen, and
what a boza! That's what I call the female bozos. Bozos.
Oh, what is going on with her?
Jesus. She should have just not spoke. Once again, she spoke on something that she wasn't, just off of somebody else's word of mouth or whatever. He said, she said stuff. So.
Fucking verified.
Well,
it wasn't even verified.
Right. Now she's off Twitter, so there you have it.
So if anybody doesn't know about the story, which I don't know how they don't, but I honestly, I didn't know. I had to go to my source, my son, and ask him what the hell is going on. She tweeted something about the vaccine.
Yes, you can still get COVID if you're fully vaccinated, but do you know the statistics to that? Do you know the odds of getting COVID?
Ooh.
Yeah, something was jumping.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I guess she tweeted, and don't, quote me, but something in regards to her cousin's friend got the shot and his scrotum swolled. And then in another tweet, she said, but I'm going to need to find out more information. I'm going to need to do my research. And it's like, why didn't you do your research before you went and fed this to your platform of millions?
Right.
And then wherever this so-called cousin lives, whatever country, they came out with a statement and said, we just wasted a whole day trying to verify this story. There isn't even a person that this happened to.
Did you read any of the tweets below it? There was doctors responding to it. I read the first 3 or 4 replies, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this story. There was
if you're gonna leave it open-ended and say I need to do more research, then first of all, what research is Nicki Minaj really fucking doing? Looking up other tweets?
Yeah.
Right.
Secondly, do your research first. You have a platform that serves information out to your fans of millions. Don't you take that a little seriously at all to go ahead and tweet something so idiotic and then turn around and leave it open? But, I got to do more research. Like, that's a pretty big claim, especially, with the male population. That's the last thing they want fucking happening is having giant fucking monkey balls because they took a vaccine that you're spreading rumors about that. You're one in billions that this has happened to. Come on, where's the picture?
I'm tired of this argument.
So it's just very irresponsible of her. Very irresponsible of her. And then to act like she's going to actually do some research. Bitch, you about to just look up a whole bunch of other fucking tweets. Stop acting like you're about to take a fucking course and you're going to be in med school for the next 10 years. I'm going to need you to stop.
So I wanted to play this. I know Tori sent this to me. I just wanted to play this, and
it's pretty powerful.
So I saw this. Send this to you guys.
Yeah,
I'm so fucking tired of this argument because yes, you can still get COVID if you are fully vaccinated, but do you know the statistics to that? Do you know the odds of getting COVID if you are fully vaccinated? Because I do. I'm not a medical expert, but I'm really fucking good at numbers. So let me show you. There are 330 million people in the United States, right? Divide that by the 41 million COVID cases that we've had, and that gives you a 1 in 8 chance of catching COVID in the United States. 1 in 8 people have gotten COVID in the United States. Of those 41 million people, you have had 670,000 or so deaths. Right? That's a 1 in 61. 1 in 61 people in the United States have died from COVID. 1 in 61 people who have gotten COVID in the United States have died. Okay? Let's take this further. There are 173 million people who are fully vaccinated in the United States, right? Do you know how many breakthrough cases there have been? Since as of August 30th, there's been 12,908. That gives you a 1 in 13,402 chances of catching COVID if you are fully vaccinated. 1 in 13,402 versus 1 in 8. Let's take it a step further. There have been 2,437 deaths related to COVID, or people who are COVID positive and fully vaccinated, right? 480 of those aren't related to COVID, which means that they died from a car accident or something totally unrelated to COVID. So we're going to round that to 2,000. 173 million people in the United States are fully vaccinated. Divide that by the 2,000 that have died fully vaccinated from COVID. That gives you a 1 in 86,500 chances of getting COVID and dying if you are fully vaccinated. So unvaccinated, you have a 1 in 8 chance of catching COVID. You have a 1 in 61 chance of dying from COVID. And fully vaccinated, you have a 1 in 13,402 chances of catching COVID and a 1 in 86,500 chances of dying from COVID. How about we all just realize that billions of shots have been given worldwide, billions of people have been fully vaccinated, and we have a way to end this pandemic. We have a way for children to stop losing their fucking parents. Go get the fucking shot.
What's your thoughts on that, Alex?
She turned all the way out.
I have no thoughts. The same that it's always been.
Yeah, she's a mathematician. She broke that shit down. I don't care what anybody says. That she broke that shit down.
You live in Michigan. All I need to do is turn on the news, man. 4 days ago, it was over 5,000, over 6,000 new cases. Another 2 days, another over 6,000 cases. I forgot how many died, 50, 60 something. So I actually tune into the news and watch it, and yeah, I mean, I agree with her 1,000%. So
I don't really even think there was much more to say after that. That was a whole ass mic drop.
Can I say?
1 in 8 compared to 1 in 18,000.
I'm a numbers guy. I got to be honest.
Talked about the numbers before. It's like, come on, man. Like, what do you need to know other than someone that's down you or something, or family or friend, and 1% are people like. nobody can argue the shit back. I haven't met not one person that can argue that back, numbers wise. I asked a couple people, you know, if
no, their only answer is it's fake reporting, fake news.
Right. I asked a couple people if they were going to get the booster, and one of them is they're a Trump fan. They said no. They said no, they're not going to get it. So I'm just like, wow. You know, said you might not need it. I don't know. Like I said, it's in the back of my mind. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I got my 2 shots. I'm just going with the flow. And you know what? I actually thought about this, and I'm like, a lot of, you know, in the beginning, everybody was, take vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, B, C, D, F, G.
Well, it's still something you do.
Well, no, I'm still taking it. I wonder how many other people are still doing
zinc,
it, not doing it, because I got vitamin C up the ass over here. So
I take the little emergency pack every day.
Yeah, and I got
my zinc pack.
How many? You know, a lot of people probably, okay, I got vaccinated. I don't have to do those other little things no more. And it's not even not like it's a big deal to continue to do that. You know what I mean? Especially if you're, you know, like my age, and you know, so.
A lot of people, I know a lot of people who at this point either completely against it or they're scared, they're on the fence to do it. And unfortunately, the people that are on the fence to do it, once you get it, and you're in the hospital intubated or on your deathbed, they're making videos saying, don't wait. Or I was waiting for my other family members to do it too. You know what? Why don't you lead by example? I know you're waiting for your other family members to do it. I was the same way. My son took the reins and led by example and said, you know what? We're going to do this. And I was like, well, let's make an appointment. He said, make a left right here. We're going to go in right now. I'm like, oh, motherfucker, this fucking kid. Okay. And he's like, I'm doing it regardless. And as a mom and a parent, I respect his wishes. And my son is very intelligent, and he's a numbers kid, and he's a young man, right? And he's a researcher, and if there's something, I'm like, oh, Dom will know. Hey, Dom, what's this, right? So I trust his judgment. I don't even know how to use a remote control of the TV. Listen, okay? My son, though, I trust his judgment. And if he says that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. And I'm a natural leader, right? Not just because I don't know I'm still a leader, even though I don't know how to use the remote control. But sometimes we need that push, and we need somebody to lead by example. So be that person. Be that person. Or take the initiative. I'm sorry, Alex. Or take the initiative to do a little bit more research, or reach out to somebody who maybe, hey, slide my DMs. I'll have Dom give you a little briefing on the things he knows if you're confused about it, or you need some some articles sent to you, or it's just some info on the things that he's come up with and taught me. It's important.
Do those little things, like even for the people that don't get vaccinated, they don't want to do it. Like, I don't hear nobody say, oh, but I still take, I'm still taking my vitamin C. I'm still doing, like, are you still at least doing that shit, man, to take care of yourself and keep your immune, like lazy bastard.
So yesterday, real quick, we go and we deliver groceries and do a bunch of things in stores and whatever. So yesterday we're at a store, and I was on the phone because I got this fancy new Bluetooth, right? So I think I'm cool now. So I'm on the phone. I hop out the car. We get in the store. I'm like 10 aisles in. He taps my shoulder and he looks at me and he points at his face and he's like, where the fuck is your mask? And I'm like, oh my God, I totally felt mask shame because I didn't even realize I didn't have it on. So now I'm like doing like this, right? Because people are coming around me. And I'll tell you this, for someone who wears a mask, I felt like a total douchebag walking around with no mask, and everybody else had one on. Even though I'm vaccinated, I know I'm safe, I know I take precautions. I'm that weirdo that holds her breath when people walk past me. Like, I don't want to breathe your germs, right? I will literally I'm a pro at holding my breath. So I do all of those things, but I still felt that, like, I felt that I felt like I was a total douchebag because I wasn't respecting other people's safety, regardless of how safe I am or regardless of how safe they are. You know, people can say that it's a you thing, do what's good for you, but it's also a us thing. And so if I know me protecting you, because I don't know what you're going through every day, and something that could have jumped on me and I could breathe it to you, I can't live with myself. So now I'm walking around like, you know, like cornholio with my shirt over my face, trying to not breathe in people's direction and finish my grocery list. But I felt like a total douchebag yesterday doing that. I got out that store so fucking quick. It's like and I'm looking around and everybody's got one and everybody's being respectful. And here I am, walking around with my Bluetooth and no fucking mask like an asshole, holding my breath in my shirt. Right, but I was just saying, like, that feeling of not respecting other people, safety of the unknown, right? Safety of the unknown. I felt like a dick.
Yeah, I went to the store. There was nobody in there, and I was like, "Shit, I'm going in there. I'm not gonna go back home. I'm going in the store still." But
no, if I'm not by people and there's nobody, like if I'm shopping late and there's nobody there, and I'm hot, I'll remove, I'll pull it down. But as soon as I see somebody, and you can call it a sheep or a fucking snowflake or whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's a respect thing for the unknown. I don't know. Neither do you. Don't call me a sheep or a snowflake because I'm concerned about your fucking health too. I think that's what pisses me off the most. It's like, you're over here talking shit about my health. Bitch, you don't even give a fuck about your own health. I care more about your health than you do about yours, I feel like at times.
And that's why you feel so bad when you forgot your mask or whatever. You're just like, shit.
Hey, how dare you shun me for giving a fuck about you?
I was trying to play this for you.
Holy, oh, the Almighty, holy, oh,
that's what I look like. Looking for my bunghole. That's what I look like. I was like, I need my fucking mask. I was like, I gotta get out of this fucking store. I can't hold my breath this long.
So Jeff Bridges says cancer is in remission, but COVID was tough. But so he beat both. So I love Jeff Bridges.
Crazy. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I couldn't even imagine. He said, didn't he say COVID made cancer look like a fucking walk in the park?
Yeah.
Facts right there. That's some crazy shit. I'm nervous about going to Detroit. I'm not even gonna lie. We're gonna be around a lot of people. I'm probably be hazmat suited up. Put some rhinestones on my hazmat suit and call it a day. They got glitter hazmat suits.
Yep.
I need one. I'm gonna need one. Put it on Amazon Prime.
A restaurant in New York hosted was attacked after asking diners for proof of vaccination. I'll play this video. Our famous Carmelite.
Oh. World star.
So that's happening in New York. People are like, what the hell? Why are you asking me for proof? So more and more places are going to be asking, and that probably is going to be the outcome, right? Some people, they're like, what? You don't have no right to ask me. Fuck you. And then, right? I think that's what's going to happen.
Pretty sad.
Vegas just announced, and I was going to talk about that story, but Vegas just announced they will be asking for COVID vaccines at all events, all sporting events, all concerts, anything to do with massive people. You cannot enter without a COVID vaccine, vaccination proof. Virginia woman gets, this is weird. Virginia woman gets 12 years in prison for one of the biggest coupon scams in U.S. history.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she gets 12 years for couponing scam. A Virginia Beach woman was sentenced for 12 years in prison for running one of the biggest coupon counterfeiting rings in U.S.
Oh, she was making fake coupons?
$31.8 million in retail loss. 41 ran the scheme for April 27th through May of 2020, pleads guilty for mail fraud. So she was, I guess she was making up some coupons.
Listen, well, couponing is a real thing. Like, that's a business for people. And I'm telling you, I'm jealous of those people that are like super couponers, right? Because I tried that shit and I was frustrated as fuck. My cousin, was bomb as shit at it.
Her mom has like, she's
a binder.
80s, yeah, like the binder.
A binder.
Quadruple. I'm like, what the fuck? Like
and they walk out with 28 bottles of laundry soap for 50 cents.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
And then they sell it.
Yeah,
in bundles.
Well, she doesn't sell it. She just keeps it.
Man, if I knew how to do it and I actually if I knew how to do it and I actually had the room to stock it and do those things, I probably would slang that shit. Like, I don't know, I'd be selling all kinds of stuff, so whatever. But my girlfriend, even my cousin, they told me the best thing to do is get a partner, like you and another person, so you can send your friend over to whatever other stores and you do the other.
Did they have the TV coupon? The lady would go.
They did.
And she would be like, $1,000 worth of groceries. I'm getting it for $28. How is that possible?
During that time, Zach had a lot of things going on, and I'm not even going to say I'm not. I was salty about it because I was like, man, I got too much shit going on in my life to learn this fucking coupon thing. All these bitches are making all this fucking money on these coupons, and I'm a savvy. I save money, but I don't have time for this. I don't got time to drive the fuck around all these stores and do that. So I was a little salty during that time because I really wanted to learn how to do it. Mm-hmm.
So I got a confession. I got to
selling that shit like crazy.
And I won't mention names, but somebody, a relative of mine, during the whole coupon, they used to go. Remember when you would go into a store and they would change tags, like a $60 dress would turn down to a $20, and I'm like, really? Like, I guess that was couponing, changing tags.
I'm not going to even say I never did that before because I've done it before.
Change the tag.
Well, I look at it, I'm like, this fucking thing is not worth $100. We're only paying $60 today. You know what I'm good at? And my kids will fucking bust me on this. I return shit that's been used.
Yeah.
Listen, if my shit is like say I got a vacuum, right? We'll just say, all right, we'll start with a vacuum. Because there's items in my house that have been returned 8 times and I never paid for a new one. I just get another one, right? So let's say it's a vacuum. And it stops working, 6 months after, but the thing was only good for 3 months, the warranty. Oh, we're going to go to the store. We're going to buy the same one. We're going to put the broken one in the box and we're going to take it back because I'm not doing this every 6 months.
Right.
So, or
Costco has. I seen somebody at Costco bring a couch. Was all.
I've returned a swimming pool, like a whole ass swimming pool.
Did you?
I've returned the gazebo. I'm about to just give all my secrets now. So, like the whole gazebo. So I get a call back in Michigan. The gazebo was up, right? And I kept putting it off to take it down, putting it off. And then bam, fucking October, we just get this massive out of nowhere snow fucking piles on the gazebo. I'm like, God dang it. Now what am I going to do? The snow is on top of the gazebo. So I don't know, a week goes by and it hardens and then it busts through and it bends all of the poles and the gazebo was new and I was so bummed out about it. So I went and bought another one and put the old one back in the box and returned the whole thing. And the guy, he's looking at me like,
it did that. I've
done it 4 times with the gazebo. I'm thinking about doing it once more because I need a new one. And I'm just like, you know what?
You know that story is a true story, or you don't know about that?
About what?
The coupon story. You know that's a true story, right?
Oh, I'm sure it is. Them coupon ladies see me. I just be. Listen, they learn enough.
There's a movie. It's a comedy coming out. It's called Queen Pins. Kristen Bell is in it, and it's a true life of the 2012 arrest of 3 women in Arizona who were charged with running $40 million coupon ring. During raids, police seized $2 million in assets from their homes, including vehicles worth over $240,000, 22 guns, and a 40-foot speedboat.
Wow, they were doing it big.
So pretty Kristen Bell.
I'm not that big. I just do some little petty shit. I'm like, okay, this isn't fair. I paid for this.
I like what she said though in it. She said, if you're smart, you'll use a coupon. She said, she was just saying, like, a lot of people that do this, you know, they're actually pretty brilliant, and they don't get, you know, looked at a lot. So she was saying how she had somewhat of a little bit of respect for what they were trying to do, because they were dealing with, you know, I don't know, whatever it may be, abuse, you know, trouble in the relationship, whatever. And
they were trying to get out of a bad situation, exactly. So they found a way to hustle money that was legit, you know, at some point.
She said there's a high that comes along with getting a discount or having an exclusive offer. There's definitely something emotional attached to it, but it also feels really good to save money. I'll use them when I get them. I'm not an extreme couponer, but my grandmother actually was. She was quite extreme and would save all the UPC codes and barcodes. And when she had 100, she would send them into the company, and they say, thanks for being a loyal customer. Here's $5 as a rebate. But she was saying, this is the part I wanted to read. It's rare that you can relate to or root for a criminal, she says. But I think the fact that they are doing something that does feel slightly Robin Hood-like, it feels like they're trying to better themselves and bettering the lives of people around them without hurting any other human being. So I agree. Like a good movie. I'm gonna check.
I agree. I'm about to go get a bunch of newspapers and cut a bunch of coupons now. No.
There you go. So this story probably hits home for your mom if she's still watching. A Georgia restaurant forced to close after entire staff quits. Post sign on the front door. Basically shorthanded. They just got tired of it and they just walked out. I mean, just because they're so shorthanded due to COVID.
They just had to shut down. I know. I read.
Shut down. They were like
crazy.
Yeah.
That's happened to a lot of people, from what I've heard.
Like, that's a wrap. I was like, wow, when I read that story, man. Damn. They said we were working 7 days a week for the past month and barely any time off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's working the same, you know, nonstop shifts. They can't get any time off. And then also, you know, I've been hearing different perspectives. I've been hearing that perspective. I hear the management side where you don't have employees. I hear the service side where it's like, we don't get a day off because there's only 10 of us trying to do a 25-person job, right? And then I've heard the service perspective also regarding the rude people that come in because they're trying to do their best, and you've got a disgruntled person who either is mad because they got to wear a mask, mad because the service is a little bit slower, right? Rude because they haven't, you would think being not able to go out for so long that you would be more than grateful, more than understanding, more than respectful to these people who are servicing you and risking their lives to come to work to possibly catch something from all these people that are flooding to come in. And then they're being assholes and they're not tipping properly and they're looking for handouts. So I've seen all the different perspectives, and as a server, bartender industry for, service industry for many years, it is not for the weak. And then you look at some of the states who cut the unemployment and they're telling people, well, go get a server job. Oh, child, let me tell you, probably 80% of my friends would not even fucking make 1 to 2 shifts in the service industry to tell people who have never had that experience to just go and feed them to the wolves. It's not for the weak. It's really a hard job.
FDA panel recommends Pfizer COVID booster for people 65 and older after rejecting third shot for general population. So I guess I don't know if the FDA is not approving it for the general population. That's what I'm reading. But I'm, you know what? I know you said you were scared to go to Michigan. I would love to get my booster, and I know we talked about it. So if you are eligible, I believe it's on the 20th, which is 2 days from now. If you've been your last vaccine was months ago, you're eligible to get the booster.
Not me.
Unless you have a cancer or something like that, and you're eligible right now. But on the 20th of September, you will be eligible as long as your last COVID vaccine was 8 months ago at this point. But looks like the FDA is not saying it's for the general population. I'm still getting it. Give me all the shots. I think who said that? The Spinner-Rooney said that. Give me everything. He said, "Give me everything. I want all."
I'm not eligible till spring, till March. And again, like me and Alex said the other day, a lot can happen from now till then. As of right now, yeah, give it to me, poke me, stick me, do all the things. But from now till then, I'm gonna, consciously watch and make my decision when March comes, because as we know, so much can change from now till then.
A wrongly convicted man dies of COVID-19 9 years after he was released after spending the last time taking back of his life, being a murder release from prison. Damien, I don't know how to say his last name, has died from complications of COVID-19. I was like, when I read that story, I was like, that sucks. He was wrongly convicted. He gets out, and then he dies.
Yeah.
Crazy, ridiculous amount of just stories that are just like,
stories
you would have never thought we would hear, man.
Well, I know you posted on our newsfeed, and you were like, nah, God, another fucking sad story of someone.
Well, that was another whole animal right there. That was like a 30-year-old story that kidnapping, but that story was crazy. Really crazy.
We talked about it. Las Vegas events venue begins requiring COVID-19 vaccine for proof. You need some. If you're going to Vegas, guess what?
Did it say when that's starting?
It says October.
Okay. Yeah, because I have friends there right now who I know damn well they're not. They don't get vaxxed.
But it's only events, sporting events, stuff like that. Events. They want to go. If they want to go watch the Raiders, they need to go.
I mean,
what about shows?
Right.
Shows.
Okay.
All that stuff there, right?
Well, we're going in November for a couple of days. Like, I'm taking my parents. We're gonna go and right before Zach's birthday and celebrate, because he always wanted to go, but he couldn't go because of the pandemic, and he was just compromised immune. So we're gonna go a couple of days for his birthday, but we're all back, so I'm not too worried about that.
So these two stories that I'm going to talk about right now, they're kind of tied in, but they're not tied in. So Hispanics and Latinos continue to be marginalized in popular movies. That's what they're saying. They're not like lead actors. And then another story was released. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What'd you say, Alex?
Stereotypical roles is all we get.
Yeah.
The mugger, the drug dealer, the gang member.
And, it says Latino senator wants more investments in Hispanic serving colleges and universities. And I'm not saying I'm racist at all, BLM, all that bullshit. And, I just think it's time for the U.S. to kind of, even in the entertainment, like you said, we only get roles that are, he's a cholo. There's not enough programs for us, the Latinos universities and all that stuff. So I think all this ties in.
No, there needs to be more equality, and if the and us marching and taking a knee and petitioning and all these things aren't going to stop, the government needs to step in and make actual rules and laws that say, hey, this amount of people has to be hired for this. This amount of people has to be done for this, more than what it already is for Black and brown people and minorities. Okay, how much longer do we have to do this?
Right. You know, we're not talking about this, and we're not just talking about entertainment or jobs. We're talking about even, like I said, even in the movies,
look, entertainment, jobs, movies, housing.
There's a guy by the name of Alfred Kanawa that I follow, and you know, he does little videos and stuff like that and his hashtag is Black Wrestling Draws, because he's making fun of AEW for not using black wrestlers, African American wrestlers, you know, on like, you know, like, and that should go for everything. Like we talked about baseball, you have to, you know, you want to cater to your fans, man. You want to be able to have kids that, whether it's wrestling or baseball or whatever it is, to, you know, like they look up to these people and to these athletes and stuff like that. So you want to be able to connect to all ethnicities, man, when it comes to that, you know. So I mean, and once again, that's more money, you know. It's more demographic, it's across the board. So yeah, I mean, so I love you know, and you're kind of starting to see that, you know. They got, you know, there's a lot of factions that they, you know, how they used to do it back in the Attitude Era. So you see there's a faction, all Mexicans, it's a faction, rapper group, but it's still stereotypical. They just brought in a guy from NXT, Italian guy. He looks like from a Bronx tale. I mean, it's so the most stereotypical gimmick I've probably ever seen watching wrestling. And I was like, wow, that shit is crazy. So, you know, it does, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be bad. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, definitely would like to see more ethnicities, not just Latinos, African Americans, but everybody, Italians, Japanese, all of that. So,
definitely, I think we need more equality across the board. So, Rosario Dawson hops into, we're jumping to the wrestling, jumps over the barricade with Cody Rhodes. So I'll show you this real quick.
She's stepping up to Malachi Black.
You got to get somebody out there right now.
No, you know who she was.
Unhinged. No, he is she dipped in, but you're right, Punk. Someone needs to get out there in a hurry.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
You go.
Listen, I'm not going to be able to go home if I don't defend Rosario Dawson.
Whoa! Look at this! Rosario mounting Malachi.
So.
Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes right there.
Here he comes.
Oh! Good hands. What impact? The intensity here.
The intensity. Oh, as they are. I love Rosario. I think she's so hot.
Yeah, he's doing something with her, so that's that cross branding there. That's why.
You know, she's going to be in Clerks 3, so I just can't wait. So, all right. I don't know how to pronounce his name. We'll move on to boxing. Old Scholar or something is ready for Anthony Joseph.
Call him by his last name, Usyk.
He's a true heavyweight champion now. So he said,
I'll be back. Someone's at my door.
Yeah, go ahead. He said he's a true champion, ready for Anthony Joseph. What's your thoughts, Alex? He's 18-0.
I don't know if he's ready for him, but I mean, he earned his shot. But this is only like his second fight, second or third fight. I believe it's his second in this at this weight. So I don't know, man. Anthony Joshua weighed in at 240 last fight. This guy's at like 217, 220, but I don't know. Should be a good fight, man. I mean, I haven't really watched him. I know who he is, but I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched too many of his fights, probably since he won. He was in the Olympics a while back, like years ago. But I don't know. He's trying to do what the Klitschko brothers did and be the first Ukraine to, or the second, to win the championship, unify the belts, I believe. So I might check it out. Should be a good fight, though.
Should be a good fight. Okay. I'm gonna.
Not too familiar with him, but from what I read, it looks like he might give him a good fight.
I'm gonna post something real quick because
looks like he might.
Somebody was asking. There it is, Stacy. We put in the chat. You can go back and watch the first hour with Reyna, so you can actually watch it. There's a YouTube link right there. So, sorry. We'll say in boxing. So 20 years ago, on I think it was the 16th, which was 2 days ago, the Sugar Ray Leonard fight versus Thomas Hearns at Caesars.
Did you watch that? Because I was 1 year old, bro.
I did watch it.
I was 1 year old. So.
But somebody was telling me, I think somebody made a comment that so many people in Detroit went to that and lost so much money.
Oh well, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they lost house. They lost houses. They lost.
I don't know where I watched one documentary and I didn't see nothing on that, but I mean,
welterweight champion Sugar.
Not surprised.
Of course, the conversation about Thomas Hearns and the considered opinion is that his right hand is only as good as his left hand, and his left hand is
showdown.
Good counterpunch. It made Hearns a little mad. He's going after him.
So it was a tremendous fight. It was a great.
Yeah, I just watched it again for like the 30th time the other day. I'm gonna watch part 2 today.
My dad could not stand Sugar Ray. He wanted.
Of course.
So bad.
Right.
Sugar Ray was flashy. He didn't like it. So.
And the second fight was just as good, and it was a split decision. But I'm gonna watch the second one today, man. I love watching the old fights like that. But yeah, man, that was war. 15 rounds, man.
Yeah, 15 rounds.
Rocky type shit, 15 rounds. That's crazy.
That is crazy. So I know you explained me this story, Tori, and I'll talk about it. We'll jump over to entertainment. Gabrielle Union recalls Dwyane Wade having a child with another woman, leaving her broken into pieces.
I love her so much. So strong ass woman right there. Buddy.
Can you go over that story? Because I was just like, man, this seems so like, I don't know, just.
I'll be right back. I read it, but I don't want to get up because I wanted to hear what Tori had to say.
Her and Dwyane Wade were, they were dating at the time, and she had said, mentally it was a lot on her because he dipped out on the relationship and cheated and got his mistress pregnant during a time that she was fighting infidelity, so infertility, not infidelity, infertility. Mm-hmm. So that played a lot on her mental state, and not just mentally, but her self-esteem as a woman, not being able to reproduce and going through all these things and then having problems in their relationship. He goes and he gets his mistress pregnant, and it said it made her feel like less of a woman. They did reconcile and work things out, whether you agree with that or not. And they ended up getting a surrogate because she couldn't have a child, but she had said that she would sell her soul to carry a child. And it was that, important and played that much of a deep-seated mental anguish on her heart that she wasn't able to do it. And she just spoke about those trials and tribulations about infertility and how it makes you feel as a woman and those things that you go through and the betrayal and just a whole bunch of stuff. And she's really such a strong woman and such a great advocate for those who, go through the same thing and see, like, just because she's famous doesn't mean she doesn't have the same problems as other people and the things that they go through. So she's speaking out on that and just trying to be an advocate and speak her truth and talk about it and bring light to the subject. And so I think it was really great of her and another strength to help her, probably not just to help other people, but to help her heal and, talking about it and continuing to talk about it. And she said that there were things that she needed to say to him and she needed to get out and she needed to live her truth. And so now she's talking about it publicly for other people to know and not hide and so forth. The whole getting back with somebody and getting them pregnant while you're dating and they cheated. I don't think I'm that strong. I'm not that strong to forgive somebody that goes and gets somebody else pregnant.
This is my topic on Monday, right? Can a relation go back to normal after?
Yeah. And I feel like, I saw a lot of mixed comments on your feed, and they were pretty, some of them were more in depth than others, and I respect that opinion. I don't agree with some of the opinions I saw. Some people said, "Oh,"
went at it. They were like,
"Well, yeah."
And the other one, and the other one.
So the one has a background in psychology, right? So she's talking from a standpoint of statistically and the people that she's worked with. Personally, though, and I love her. She's an acquaintance of mine as well on Facebook. I personally don't agree with that. They spoke the difference of, is it okay for the person to cheat at the beginning versus spending 10, 20 years with them and then cheating at the end because they slipped up, made a mistake, and people grow apart, or vice versa. They don't cheat for 10, 15, 20, or they wait, did I say that right? Yeah. So which do people seem to forgive more? The cheating at the beginning or the cheating decades later? I personally feel like if we've spent that much time together, then there has to be easier communication, or we need to figure something out before that gets to that point. And her point of view was people that cheat at the beginning are narcissists. I believe that as well. I think for me, it would be, I've had both. I've had where I'm cheated at the beginning, and I've had where I was in, a 16-year relationship and he didn't cheat until 12 years into it. Right. But there were things that were happening with us that, brought that on, and it hurt more. But both times I didn't forgive you because we ain't gonna be together like that no more. We're just and I definitely don't want things to go back to normal, because if they were normal, then you would have never cheated.
There you go.
So I definitely don't have a whole.
It's pretty ironic that we had a story
a whole ass baby
on Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba. They had a
Could
show
you forgive
together,
somebody that, Alex? Could you forgive somebody that went and had a whole ass baby on you?
Of course not. Like I said, she's a hell of a woman, strong woman.
Right.
Do that. But hey, I once again, behind closed doors, I don't know what they do or what's going on. So if they can live happily ever after, God bless them.
God bless him. We'll stay in the NBA. Kyrie Irving reported claimed that he might retire from the NBA if the Brooklyn Nets trade him. He's kind of like all over the map, and I know
he needs a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
We need to get our friend on there.
Yeah. Have her call him.
Call him up.
Jeez.
Because having reliable hot water is essential for health. That's why
he was acting a fool during last year, like the playoffs, and he was in like
every team he's got a problem, right?
Yeah, what is going on?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Common denominator.
He's a problem kid, problem child. I don't know. He can ball, if they're willing to put up with that. Because you can't deny that. But do you need that
headache,
negativity
liability
in there? So he's like, I'll retire. If he basically said, sorry, if they don't re-sign him, if he wants to stick there with his buddies, he'll retire. So
right.
Hey, he'll be one. Like I always say, I'm sure all the 3 contracts he's gotten, the last 3 contracts, he'll be all right. So I've never been a fan of him since he was with Cleveland. So whatever.
Sixers received Simmons offer from dark horse teams, so it looks like
he's another one.
Another guy, Timberwolves.
Yeah, he's another one.
Raptors, Cavs,
ball, but he got a
Spurs
attitude problem.
Oh yeah,
he's got attitude problem. He's got a terrible jump.
I need you to fix your attitude.
But you know what, Rasheed Wallace, man. It worked with us. You know what I'm saying? So it can work. So, but that was a different story because he had guys like Ben. He had leaders around him. He was a leader, but he needed to be composed at times. And the only one that could ever do that I seen was Chauncey or Ben. So he would calm his ass down, but
give him a little attitude adjustment.
Right. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, Trader Troy, I don't know what he's doing. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up with Ben Simmons and John Wall. Yeah. That's like 40 wins right there, bro. So I don't know what's going on.
He's available too. We didn't talk about that, John Wall.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just sitting back and waiting to see, what stories drop. It's either him or Steve Yzerman just making nonstop moves. I can't wait for hockey. I don't think I've been this excited for hockey.
And we'll talk about hockey now.
NHL
90. Yeah, it's been a while.
Wow. Since I was running down grass
to be vaccinated by open game. That's pretty good. I don't know what the other professional sports is, but 98% of players to be vaccinated before the season opener. That's great. Right. You just talked about the Red Wings. Red Wings signed Civani Smith, re-sign him to a 2-year deal. So big things for
I wanted to ask you a question since you played hockey. He is a right winger and he shoots left. Is that like, how they say it's good to have, a lefty in a bullpen? The guy's when Dylan Larkin got injured, he got that devastating hit put on him. Smith is the one that started the fight, so he definitely is like, one of those, got that Bob Probert mentality, and he's a big guy, man, 6'2".
Yeah, 6'2".
So I love it, man. He's been with us for 4 years. So
that's kind of weird. So he plays right wing, shoots left. That's right.
I just kind of caught that off.
That's kind of weird.
But I can't wait to see what he does with the team.
He's a Toronto native. He was selected 46 overall in 2006. Right. So.
And he almost went to the Seattle McCrackens.
In the
league.
Release the McCracken.
Release the McCracken.
I know. What a weird. I would hate that if that was my team name. Jeez.
I bet you that's.
I'd be making fucking jokes all the time.
To be honest,
I can't even keep a straight face.
I think that's when the team comes out on the
McCracken.
Say release McCracken.
Just put it in my McCracken. Never mind. We can just keep going. We could just keep.
Hey, Fallon. Fallon took a little break off social media. Welcome back, Fallon.
Hey, Fallon. Welcome back. Welcome back. Saturday.
Over to the NFL. So the Detroit Lions are 0-1. Who do they play this week?
The Packers. Ringo Starr.
So did they?
My mama's team.
Yeah, the Packers.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, she a whole ass cheesehead.
Cheesehead. So do they – because Ringo Starr looked pretty frustrated on game one. He looked like he was going to cry.
I don't see that. It's so funny that people are started just blown up on Aaron Rodgers. I've never disliked him like that. I just hate the Packers. Like I always say, I'm still having Brett Favre nightmares, but I don't know. It's just one game, man. It's one game. You're not going to see that again. I mean, I don't know.
Because I was thinking of myself when I looked on the bench. I was like, no. I was like, when you get in the car, he gonna cry.
Right. Yeah. You know, there was so many memes. There was some.
I was just gonna ask you about the memes.
Did you
I was
see
like, is anybody gonna talk about the
did
Aaron
you see
Rodgers
where he's
meme?
sitting there and they're like, how could somebody that's so washed look so clean look so dirty? Or something.
Are you talking about the Aaron Rodgers meme?
Right, when he was sitting on the bench.
It was like, if Aaron Rodgers can look like this, there's hope for all of us, right? Or were he just looking old as fuck?
Social media is just it's
unforgiving.
It's insane, man.
Someone said, "What about they said this is a slick back hair and prison look."
Yeah, there was one that said he looked like CM Punk. I was like,
yes, I saw like that. He did. I had to double take. I was like,
funny.
is that my own? No, it's not.
He just looks like he does not want to be there, man. He just looks like he does not want to be on that team.
Completely.
He wants to be on Jeopardy or something. I don't know. But if he is starting, I don't see him playing like that again against the Lions.
So, Alan, thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to the traditional podcast. I'm glad you didn't miss any show, so I appreciate that. Pittsburgh's Steelers, a violent fight. What's going on with fucking professional sports where every week there's a fight?
Oh man. Jesus. Look at all that space too. That's horrible. Good night.
Oh no.
That is horrible.
That was it. That was bye-bye. Yeah, he went to bed right there.
Why did she? Right. There's somebody yelling. She slapped the man. She's still trying to start it. Get her ass out of there.
She did put her hand all in his face.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he went bye-bye too. Did you see that?
I mean, but he had what was he supposed to do? He had to stand up and defend her, even though she was wrong. Like, you don't hit a woman, right? He knew if that guy hit her, he was knocking her the.
You know what? I'm almost glad the Lions suck this year because I don't want to go to a game.
The most mess we're gonna have is in the parking lot.
I do and I don't. I'm going to a Red Wings game though. That's I don't.
I just want to go to a game in general. I feel like I haven't been to a game in so long. Any games?
Right.
Last thing I was really at was.
It's going to be a wing game.
What was I at? The last football game I was at was Cardinals and Lions when we first moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to some wrestling events. And that's really one baseball. We used to go all the time in Michigan, but when we moved here, we didn't really go as much. And then, wham. Rona
Donut.
I was knocked up, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Right.
We'll stay in NFL. NFL quarterback Colt Brennan, death caused by accident. OD.
Crazy. Too young.
Another fentanyl story.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we talked about that a few months ago. Then
he's only 37.
Yeah. Wow. It feels like he got drafted like not that long ago. But I
why
remember
these people are just keep doing the drugs.
It's crazy.
Like,
yeah, them opioids, man.
Well, it's like it seems to me that fentanyl is laced in everything.
Yeah, combination of that.
It's just in everything. So don't do pills. I mean, even don't do coke. Don't.
Right.
You know, I've even heard it being laced in weed. Like, fuck.
So I know there's a couple of games on when we come. I definitely want to go on Thursday to a Red Wing.
The 23rd is when they open up.
My mom just said she's going to go to a game with you, Alex.
Go on a Monday.
Go on a Monday and she'll go to the Wings game. No cheese heads. He said you can't wear no cheese on your head, Mom.
We'll dress up like an octopus.
Don't encourage her behavior.
She'll do it, huh?
That she will, cool. And she'll get you an octopus outfit too. Y'all be twinning. She's got a sign.
Just throw my ass on the ice like an octopus. Then.
So Johnson
Don't encourage her behavior.
Kelvin Johnson has one clear demand for the Lions. He said,
God.
Pay the man his money.
He wants $1 million.
You say that because I thought about that the other day. I said it to myself out loud just to entertain myself. So I was like,
we want $1.6 million. He said, you know what? You give me that.
What do you think about that, man? I mean, what is wrong with this organization, man?
You know what I say? Pay that man his money.
What the fuck? Listen, I was like, three things popped in my like. When you think of Ford, I'm like, they got money up the ass, but they don't know how to use it. But then they pay these guys so handsomely. I mean, he played with 9 fucking concussions, bro. He gave his heart, blood, all that shit. Played. I mean,
I can barely function.
Falling on his back. I watched so many games. You know, he would have a back injury. He would be like day to day sometimes, and then he would play. I'm like, he's gonna play. I just know he is. He's that type of player. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you know, that's just the way that it is. You know what I mean? You get paid to go out there and do your job. And he went out there so many times that they put that ball, you know, man, they left him out there to get killed, man. So many times. And they give all these guys, all these, you know, Stafford, Sue, Kelvin Johnson. That's why Ndamukong Suh actually left. You know, if he would have stayed, we would have been done, man. They took all the cap money, so it would have been built around those 3 guys. So and Kelvin Johnson could, you know, some people say, well, why didn't he leave? He didn't leave, as he quote, you know, and I quote, because he thought in 2014 that he could win with the team that we had. And I mean, you look at that defense and all that, man. So he busted his ass, man. I mean, just give him the money. You know, it's kind of like I forgot who I was listening to, but they use this analogy like, you know, when you're gambling and you're at the casino and you're winning big and your friends are there and you're like, oh, here, go, you know, you're tipping the waitresses and you're buying your friends drinks and shit. And then you start, next thing you know, you got a little ass stack. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, hold on, man, go over there. Like go, you know what I mean? It's like, it just 1.6, that ain't shit to them. Right. You know, especially when you want this guy to come back and be an ambassador for your organization.
It's an investment.
And people want to see him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get the Lions, man. What a slap in the face. You know, I don't get it. You would think they would know how to conduct
power
business.
Thing with them.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You would think. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just, I don't understand that. Only Detroit, man.
I think it's a struggle of power with them.
Mike Ilitch never did that to his players.
Ever.
He came out of his pocket to get Prince
Ever.
Out of his pocket.
They don't make him. They don't make him like him anymore.
Yeah, I mean.
You'd have thought it got passed down,
some
right?
Bullshit. Yeah. Give him his fucking money, man.
Greed.
Pay that man his money. Oh, Detroit Tigers, they're on a winning streak.
Win 2 in a row. That's called. Yeah, they can't lose, man.
Yeah, 78. But
that first month record is what did it.
2.5 out of second right now.
They went like 7-24 or some shit in April, man. So
yeah,
I don't see them. But it's a good sign, man. And once again, AJ Hinch should be
well, they're in the wild
manager of the year.
If we started, they're in the wild card. It shows right here. So
yeah,
they're playing really good, man. I'm loving it. So.
See what happens. We'll stay in baseball. Los Angeles star Ohtani has sore arm. Might not pitch again this season.
Right.
Two-way star.
Yeah.
Friday for the Los Angeles yesterday because of a sore arm. I mean,
I'm just trying to pamper them. You know, they're actually not in the playoff race, so they're just trying to be cautious with him, which is understandable. So,
you posted this, I think, but for whatever ESPN always says it's not available, it's out of your region. So I wanted to play the video because I didn't see it. It says fans play his kindness by giving a foul ball to a little girl.
Oh yeah, that was such a cool story, man. That was such a cool story.
What happened? Because I can't play the fucking video.
This boy, I don't know. This boy caught
upset after not getting a foul ball.
Little boy, this boy caught the ball. I don't know if he was probably about 9, 10, maybe 11.
Yeah.
And the little girl dove. Actually, the little girl like dove for it, and she was and he got it, and she was crying, and he went over there and gave it to her, and the mother was just in shock, like, oh my God, you know, like. So I just thought that was really cool.
She taught him well.
Seen that, yeah. Seen that a couple of times, man. I love stories like that. It's a kid. It's not autographed. It's, you know, but yeah, to see a young kid like that, you know, a boy out of all, you know, just he was so happy, and then he'd seen her, and he just I thought that was a really beautiful story, man. That's what baseball is all about. Things like that.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, it sure is.
That's pretty much all I got. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you're listening on our video cast, thanks again. If you guys are subscribing or you're listening to the traditional podcast, thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget, go to our pages. You can see up the calendar. If you go to the calendar, you can see all the events. So
download it into your phone.
Next week, who's the best athlete? Never win an MVP.
Me.
There you go. Saturday, we got Andres Zamora. He has started District 313 T-shirt line. He'll be on next Saturday. And then that is our final show for September. Don't forget, October 2nd, we will be somewhere live in Detroit.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Keep your headphones on.
Keep your headphones on. So
popping up like a fuck boy.
Also subscribe.
Knock, knock, bitch. Guess who?
Word on the street. You can subscribe right here to all your favorite podcasts. So there you go. Also, I put a word on the street and the Puerto Rican colors on the hat and Mexican colors, so you can actually buy the hats now. So there you go.
Just in time for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good timing. So you can go to Word on the Street merch. Check out all the stuff. There is so many things to buy. The bucket hat, I wanted a bucket hat forever. The bucket hat just came back into stock, so I'll make it active on the page. So.
Oh, damn, would like one of those.
The bucket hat.
Are you bringing? I keep forgetting that. Is Dominic? Is he coming with you?
Yep.
Oh, it's party time.
He sure is.
It's party time.
He's here for the shits. He ready. He our designated driver.
Yeah, we didn't get to hang out. We didn't get to hang out last time, so I was just curious if he was coming with you.
Absolutely, he'll be there.
Sweet.
He'll be there. You guys have anything else?
Nope. You can follow me at SportsMile313 on Instagram, Twitter. And thank you to everybody that tuned in today.
Everyone.
Yes. And you can follow me on Facebook at Tori Rochelle, on Instagram at All Beauty All Beast, on Twitter at The Savage Kitty, that's THEE Savage Kitty, and on Snapchat at Tori_Smooches.
So there's the event calendar for October 2nd, celebrating our 100th episode. 100 episode. Oh my God, 100 episode. So you can follow me everywhere at Dreek Swift on all platforms. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Thanks to Reyna. If you are in the
fishing,
if you're in the Lansing area, go check her out.
So fucking random. Sorry.
So go check her out if you need your badge tightened up or you need all that stuff. I guess go check her out.
Even if you don't, just check it out. Check her out. Go see all the things, mind, body, and soul she has to offer.
Yeah.
Do it.
Let me
do
play
it for you.
Let me play
do it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes short of 3 hours. Make sure you guys stay safe. Enjoy your Saturday. Like always, wash your hands, wear a mask, and always wash your ass. I'm out.
Hey.
You guys stay safe. You guys have a great weekend.
You too.
Talk to you on Wednesday. Peace out.
Okay, bye.
Rock and roll.
Bye.
Guys have a